Welcome to the Brick Lane pregame show from Melbourne Ballpark in beautiful Melbourne, Victoria. My name is Michael Marcantonini. He's Josh Sperber. We're getting set for Game 3 of 4 between the visiting Brisbane Bandits and your Melbourne Aces. It's been a tough go of it lately for the Aces. Josh, 6 straight losses now after last night's 5-3 loss. Meanwhile, the Bandits continue to roll. They're 12-2, an ABL best record, and they've won 9 straight games. 4 errors last night for the Bandits, but they also hit 4 home runs, and the Aces just weren't able to take advantage of the opportunities they had, and they ended up falling by 2 runs.
I think it was a bit of an improvement, though. Later in the game, you saw Melbourne putting themselves in more chances to get themselves ahead, frustrating the Bandits on the base pass, really aggressive base running, constantly dancing around when the pitchers had the ball. But at the end of the day, just too many home runs allowed for the Aces to snap that losing streak.
Cody Mincy, who started for the Aces, gave up 3 of those 4 home runs. Cam Gibbons gave up the last one in the late innings. But Cody looked really solid through 6 innings, but again was bitten by the long ball. He's now given up 6 home runs on the year, 2 solo shots and a 2-run shot last night. Those are the only runs he gave up. But again, with the Aces offense struggling the way it is, it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, I mean, other than just those couple of pitches, he was really solid once again, pitching to contact, getting a couple big strikeouts when he needed to. But the offense has to be the side of the team to step up at this point. They're still getting 6 hits. They're still scratching out hits, but they're just not sending in guys with runners on the corners, runners on scoring position, anything like that. That is when they need to improve.
Mincy made his longest start of the season, going 6 innings for the first time, and that's a bright spot, of course. And, of course, the Aces, they were able to plate 3 runs. They did take advantage of a couple of those Brisbane errors. But, again, all 3 of the Aces' runs were unearned, and they just didn't do it with the bat. So, Josh, we look to tonight as the Aces look to snap the 6-game losing skid. They haven't gotten blown out at all throughout this 6-game losing streak, but a loss is still a loss. They look to flip the script tonight, and they've got young right-hander Kyuta Kazama on the mound.
Yeah, and he's just looked better in his second start since coming in that series against Perth. 3.2 innings, 3 2/3 innings, I should say. Just allowed 2 runs on a pretty weird play, but his stuff is looking a lot better. The guy's 19 years old, and he's throwing 97 miles an hour consistently. And if he keeps improving like this, he's going to be dangerous come the later points in the season.
Yeah, this is a kid who really excites me, like you mentioned. Still a teenager and can throw in the upper 90s. Really solid breaking stuff as well. A lot of life on that fastball. And you mentioned the last start at Adelaide. You know, that's a start where if he was a little bit older and didn't have some pitch count restrictions, maybe he goes a little deeper because he looked like he was getting better as the game went on. He struck out 8, including each of the last 4 batters that he faced. So really impressive stuff, and just something that he and the Aces hope that he can build on tonight.
Yeah, and they need a big start from him. Pitching has been so key for the Aces. As you said, they've been really in there in all these games during this losing streak. It's just that last little bit to get themselves over the hump.
And you mentioned the pitching for the Aces. How about the pitching on the Brisbane side of things? They've gotten 2 really solid starts from their pitchers the last 2 nights. They went with Max Lazar in Game 1, and then last night with Cam Wagner. Both looked really solid. They both got better as the game went on. And the bullpen's been really good for Brisbane, but the Bandits did use their top 4 relievers each of the last 2 nights. That could be something to look towards tonight, as you figure most of those guys probably wouldn't be available for a 3rd day in a row.
Yeah, 7 guys in the pen, 4 of them have pitched in each of the 2 games. So not a whole lot of depth, and that's something that the Aces really need to take advantage of. Once the Bandits get to their bullpen, the Aces really need to jump on those relievers, particularly if it's the guys that haven't seen action just yet.
And offensively, it's easier said than done. You know, we can say as much as we want that, they just got to get timely hits. When guys get on base, bring them in. It's easy for us to say that, they could do that at any time, but a lot of times, when a team's in a funk like that, it's tough to break out of that. What do the Aces hitters need to do to break out of the funk that they're in?
Well, I mean, just see the ball, hit the ball. There's not much I can say that they aren't going to be able to employ on the field, but I liked what I saw towards the end of the game. A really nice at-bat by Jacob Robson in that 9th inning, slapping a pitch that looked out of the zone into left field when the team needed a hit. Jacob Skoll's been really good in his couple of games. He's got at least 1 hit in each of the 2 games since he came to Melbourne. So there's definitely some signs of life from that Aces offense. It's just a matter of time before they really get off to the level that they were.
2 streaks still going on. The Bandits have won 9 in a row. The Aces have lost 6 in a row. See if the Aces can snap the skid and also end Brisbane's winning streak. Game 3 of a 4-game set between the Bandits and the Aces coming up in just a little bit. Keep it locked right here on Aces TV.
Fire me up, Darryl George. A 2-run shot, and the Aces take an early lead. A walk-off grand slam for Matt O'Neill. And we are live from Melbourne Ballpark in beautiful Melbourne, Victoria. What's going on, Aces fans? My name is Michael Marcantonini, Josh Sperber alongside me, getting you set for Game 3 of 4 between the visiting Brisbane Bandits and your Melbourne Aces. Round 4 of the 2022-2023 ABL season as we welcome you into the Brick Lane pregame show. Josh, let me welcome you into the Brick Lane pregame show. Great day for baseball. We had a great night of baseball last night. Aces weren't able to snap the losing streak last night. They've lost 6 in a row. The Bandits, meanwhile, have won 9 in a row. What's got to give for the Aces to get the dub tonight?
I mean, it's just the little things, you know. They got some late-game runners on. They hit themselves into situations where they could get guys home. They benefited from a couple of errors, and now it's just about a couple more breaks falling the Aces' way, getting some hits late in counts, getting some hits with guys on, and driving runners home.
Aces looking to snap that losing streak. Before we get you all the info you need to know before tonight's game, let's go to our Vibrant Services weather report. Josh, tell the people watching at home how nice it is here at the ballpark.
I mean, you can see it if you're watching on the screen, but we'll give you the Vibrant Services weather as well. Just a beautiful sunny day, not a cloud in the sky. It's the hottest day that we've seen here in Melbourne for sure. No, not a lot of wind, but yeah, I mean, that's the Vibrant Services weather report.
Yeah, and then, for those who don't know, Josh minored in being a weatherman in college.
Meteorology minor, yeah.
He didn't actually, but you
at Nowhere
you
State, yeah.
But you wouldn't know. So that's your Vibrant Services weather report. Let's get into, as you see the graphic there on the screen. But again, like you said, Josh, great day for baseball, and the biggest thing is 0% chance of rain. We love that. So let's get into the keys to tonight's game. Again, Josh, a lot riding on tonight. The Aces do not want to lose 7 in a row. Yeah,
just trying to make a little bit of pun. Kyoto Kazama from the land of the rising sun, as they call Japan. And he's a guy who's not had a whole lot of starts in the ABL, but he just has to keep on improving, keep on raising his skill level. And just another start improving. As you said, as we talked about his start in Adelaide on a couple of broadcasts ago, 3 2/3 innings. He scored 2 runs, 2 runs scored on him, but just in a really weird way. So not much more he can do. 8 strikeouts in 3 2/3 innings is pretty impressive. And they got to simplify things, maybe try for some small ball, steal some more bases, just do the little things well to get the big runs across and the big hits at big times. So just get back to the fundamentals, hit for contact, and everything else will come. There's too much talent, too much power in this Aces lineup for the power not to come back. We've already seen it. It's just got to come back. And then the bullpens will be key. We mentioned the Brick Lane pregame show. Really, the Bandits have used up their bullpen depth. They've used the same 4 guys in each game, going 1 inning at a time. The Aces have one of the deepest bullpens in this league, and they need to flex that if they're going to want to beat Brisbane tonight.
Well, those are your keys to the game. We'll get you the starting lineups after the national anthem, but we will take a quick break as we honor Australia here at Melbourne Ballpark. Keep it locked right here on Aces TV. Michael Marcantonini and Josh Sperber with you from Melbourne Ballpark. Well, Josh, the Australian national anthem absolutely fires me up. I'm a big fan. It's got such a nice ring to it. So that always gets us in the mood to call a game, gets us fired up for some Aces baseball. It's the Aces and the Bandits in Game 3 of 4. The Aces looking to snap the Bandits' 9-game winning streak. The Aces looking to snap their own 6-game losing streak. Let's get you the new era technology starting lineups as Kyuta Kazama and the Aces have taken the field. Kazama will be on the mound for the third time this season. But here is the Aces starting lineup behind him. Leading off, it's the third baseman, Jared Dale. Jared came up with his first multi-hit game of the season with 2 knocks last night, looking to get him going. Aaron Whitefield in the 2-hole. He's back in center field. One of the bigger players in the ABL to switch teams this offseason. He comes over to the Aces. Another guy who switched teams coming from Perth over to Melbourne, it's Robbie Glendinning. He's in the 3-hole at shortstop. Robbie leads the Aces in pretty much every offensive category. Jake Skoll, the newcomer, in the cleanup spot. He's in right field. Third straight game for Skoll after hopping right off a plane a couple days ago. J.D. Osborne doing the catching tonight for Kazama. He's become Kazama's personal catcher. He's batting 5th. In left field batting 6th, it's Jacob Robson. He's been a mainstay in the lineup all season long, has not missed a game since the season started. Batting 7th at first base, it's Matt O'Neill. He gets a night off from behind the dish. He moves over to first base. He's been one of the best bats in the Aces order. In the 8-hole, it's the second baseman, George Khalil. George has really flashed the leather all season long, coming along with the bat as well. And rounding out the lineup, batting 9th, it's the designated hitter, Jared Cruz. It's his 9th season as a member of the Melbourne Aces, a very versatile defender, but he gets to DH tonight. And on the mound, it's the 19-year-old right-hander from Japan, Kyuta Kazama. And Josh, everybody in Melbourne is excited to see this kid throw again. It's his 3rd start overall, 2nd home start. What do you expect from the youngster tonight?
Just a whole lot of gas. This guy throws up to 97, 8 strikeouts in his last game against Adelaide, a big improvement where he kind of got hit around by a strong Perth team in his first start in Melbourne. I'm really excited to see how he improves in a 3rd start because, as we talked about earlier on, Mike, he's just someone who's been getting better every time, 19 years young, and he's certainly got a high ceiling.
Kazama gets Tyler Tolbert to start the night. First pitch fastball over for a strike from Kazama. It's 0-1. Tyler Tolbert, Robert Moore, and TJ Bennett, the top 3 in the Bandits order. Logan Wade, Andrew Campbell, and Dai Kang Yang, 4 through 6. And then Donald Lutz, Will Riley, and Darian Miller, 7 through 9. Kazama misses with a slider there, and the count's quickly 1-1. Kazama's last start came last Saturday in Adelaide. His longest of his 2 starts so far this season. Worked 3 2/3, gave up 2 runs, both earned. But he struck out 8 and was really, really solid. Sinking liner to right, that drops in front of Skoll. So 3 pitches in, the Bandits have their leadoff man on. That brings up Robert Moore.
And Kazama can't be too upset with that. And that wasn't well hit off the end of the bat, just in the wrong spot. Outfield playing relatively deep with Jacob Skoll in right. But a leadoff base hit for Brisbane is a good start for the opposition.
Robert Moore's been one of the best hitters in the ABL so far this season. He bats with a man on. Kazama, in his 2 starts, he's 0-1 with a 10.13 ERA. But had a really rough first start and then bounced back with a really solid second start. So that ERA looks a little worse than he's actually pitched. Tolbert takes off for second, and no throw as Tyler Tolbert had a huge jump and didn't really give J.D. Osborne a chance to throw down.
Yeah, it's sometimes you can just read the pitcher right away. With a new pitcher, not often you see a guy going the first time he's on base, but Tolbert obliged, really dared Osborne to try and throw him out at second, but too good of a jump, as you said.
Solid start to Tyler Tolbert's night. Now Robert Moore gets to hit with a man in scoring position. Pitch from Kazama, popped up left side of the diamond, foul ground. Dale looks like he's under it. Osborne over there as well, and it's Dale who makes the basket couch for out number 1. So how about the 19-year-old coming back, working with a man in scoring position and no outs and getting a pop-out?
Yeah, it's exactly what you want. You know, obviously Kazama more of a strikeout pitcher with that 97-mile-an-hour fastball, but sometimes you got to induce the weak contact. If the Bandits are going to be swinging away like they are so far tonight, you need plays like that. You need those weak pop-ups that aren't going to be dangerous even if they drop, and that's what they got on that play.
So 1 down and man on second for TJ Bennett, the ABL's home run leader. He hit 2 bombs last night to extend his league-leading push. And here's a guy, Josh, who's got a legit shot to break the ABL single-season home run record.
Already halfway there with his 2 home runs last night. That put him at 8 on the season.
Kazama's first pitch is a fastball that paints the inside corner. Defensively behind Kazama, J.D. Osborne is his catcher, Jared Dale at third, Robbie Glendinning at short. George Khalil's at second and Matt O'Neill at first. In the outfield, Jacob Robinson in left, Aaron Whitefield in center, and Jake Skoll in right. Kazama, a quick peek over his shoulder at Tolbert, and now they had a play on. Glendinning covering at the bag. This Aces pitching staff comes into the game tonight with a 4.08 ERA, averaging 8.7 strikeouts per game. The Aces allowed 4 home runs last night. They've allowed 20 home runs total on the season. A 1 fastball, a little bit too far in. It's 1-1.
And that's the pitch that Kazama really wants to establish. Struggled a little bit against the heat, still trying to tighten up his command. But if he can control that heater, look out.
Bennett had a rough night in the field last night, but he made up for it with his bat. He rips one foul down the first base line, a couple inches to the left, and that's a run for Brisbane. Bennett started out last night 0 for 2. He lined into a double play and bounced to second. But then 2 solo homers in his last 2 plate appearances.
Yeah, he was really the difference in that game. He not only gave the team the advantage single-handedly with those 2 solo home runs, but he also let the Aces back into it with a couple tough throws on defense.
Kazama keeping an eye on Tolbert out at second. Tolbert singled and stole second. Young right-hander, another look at second, now to the plate. And he's missed in with that fastball a couple times here to T.J. Bennett. The Bandits sit at 12-2 on the season. The Aces 5-8. 2 teams trending in different directions right now. The Bandits have taken the ABL by storm. To win 12 of your first 14 in a 40-game season is impressive any way you look at it. Meanwhile, the Aces started out 5-2 through their first 7, and they still have 5 wins 6 games later. Not what they wanted, but another chance tonight to snap the losing streak. A win tonight would give the Bandits a series win, as they've taken the first 2. Slowly hit grounder to first, and it goes a little bit to the right of the bag. I thought for a second that hit the first base bag.
Might have skipped off the dirt, but definitely a slow roller close to staying fair. If it had, it would have been a pretty easy play for Matt O'Neill.
O'Neill gets another start at first base tonight. He's usually behind the plate, but basically the rotation so far this season is O'Neill catches games 1 and 2 of a series, then plays first base for game 3 with Osborne behind the plate, and then O'Neill back behind the plate for game 4. 2-strike pitch, that misses high. It was also ball 4. So a 1-out walk, that puts 2 on for Logan Wade, the shortstop.
And that's what we saw last night from Brisbane's power hitters, something we saw in Perth when they played here against Kazama, just taking him deep in counts, really putting the pressure on him to throw balls outside of the strike zone. And the Bandits seem to be doing the same thing.
Pitch from Kazama misses inside. And the count goes to 1-0 on the left-handed hitting Wade. The Aces scored first last night. They grabbed a run in the bottom of the 2nd, but they didn't score again until the bottom of the 7th. And by then, it was too late. None of the 3 runs the Aces scored last night were earned. 4 Brisbane errors contributed to the Aces scoring those 3. And Josh, we've talked about it off air. And you figure anytime your opponent makes 4 errors and you make none, you're probably going to win the game. But the bats were the story last night as Brisbane hit 4 homers and the Aces didn't do much offensively. Pitch from Kazama, that's down.
Yeah, defensive play has not been the problem for Melbourne this season. They have been one of the better defensive teams in the ABL. It's just the offense has been good in spurts. They've been able to score in bunches, but they still haven't consistently put a full game together, with exception of that 11-4 win against Perth, I think. I mean, it's just not been the consistent offense that you expected with the power in this Aces lineup. There's so much talent on the Aces bench in their lineup in terms of hitting, but it hasn't all come together, and part of that has had to do with some of the injuries.
The Aces missing middle of the order bat in Darryl George, a guy who's won a Helms Award in this league, the league MVP, and has just dominated since he started playing in the ABL. Chris Burke also sidelined with a minor injury. Aces still mixing in some new pieces. Kevin Lennick, who made his Aces debut out of the bullpen last night, and Jake Skoll, who's starting his third straight game for the Aces tonight, just got to the team this week. 3-2 pitch from Kazama. Fastball up and in, and that loads the bases. So Kazama gave up a leadoff single to Tolbert. Got more to pop out, but he's walked Bennett and Wade. And Josh goes back to what we saw in his first start of the season, missing high with that fastball.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say, it was the same time. It was the same pitch on those two walks. He tried for that high fastball to finish him off, but just unable to keep it down enough to get that strike. And you look at the first couple innings of Perth, it was a lot more early hits, but that first inning against the Heat, 3 hits, but 2 walks as well, and they're the 2 walks from Kazama.
So some early trouble for the teenager. Here's Andrew Campbell, the designated hitter. No score yet, but the Bandits threatening. Kazama will have to figure it out and start commanding his pitches as he does a good job there to start Campbell off with strike 1 as he fouls one back.
And with the bases loaded, there's 1 out, so a double play ends the inning. So Kazama just needs to either get them strikeouts, get that strikeout momentum he had in Adelaide going, or try to induce a double play.
Kazama, a 5-pitch pitcher, so he has the weapons to get out of this jam. A 1 pitch in the dirt. Osborne keeps it in front. How about the job that J.D. Osborne's done behind the dish? We've talked a lot about Matt O'Neill, who's back there about 75% of the time for the Aces. But J.D. Osborne's been excellent when he's behind the dish.
Yeah, the defensive catching for the Aces has been spectacular. Great arms thrown to the base pass, and hardly anything gets by these guys.
Osborne's done a great job working with the youngster Kazama. He's caught all 3 of his starts now. Kazama working out of the stretch with the bases loaded. Here's the 1-1. Good breaking ball that catches the outer half. Looked like a curve there. Kazama has a 4-seam fastball, a slider, a curveball, a changeup, and a splitter. So plenty to work with. And he's just going to keep getting better, Josh, as he develops. Big pitch here on 1-2. Fouled back.
It's not difficult to figure out that with 2 strikes, Kazama really wants to get those strikeouts with his fastball, and that makes it easier for Brisbane to be a bit more defensive, to make him miss. And when they see one in the zone, they're going to at least try and spoil it, put some wood on it.
1-2 pitch, breaking ball that Campbell laid off. That's a really good take there from Campbell.
And that splitter from Kazama, a late break, but Campbell saw that it was going to break a bit too much, went below the zone, and that evened the count.
Kazama worked just an inning and 2/3 in his first start of the season, 3 2/3 in his second start. Pitch count was high early in his season debut. He ended up throwing 60 pitches in less than 2 innings, threw 64 in almost 4 in Adelaide. 2-2, fastball called strike 3. Campbell knew it, and Kazama has a big out number 2 here in the first.
That's a massive strikeout for Kyuta Kazama. Going back to the fastball, caught it on the outside part of the zone. Beautiful pitch from Kyuta. And that is going to put 2 outs on the board.
A confidence-boosting strikeout for Kazama, and now the Aces defense can relax behind him. With 2 down, they can all play back. 4 still in line at any bag. Kazama looking to keep the Bandits off the board and get the Aces into the dugout. First pitch to the right-handed hitting Dai Kang Yang. And he offered at that breaking ball. Tried to check his swing, couldn't do it. Kazama at 24 pitches. He's thrown 12 strikes, 12 balls. Next one, breaking ball in the dirt. Another nice stop from Osborne. Well, Kazama and Osborne have worked really well together. Now, when the team was in Adelaide, JD did not have a very good offensive series. And after one late game out that JD made with men on base, he was frustrated, came back in the dugout, and Kazama was next to him and gave him a quick pat on the back. And it's just cool to see stuff like that, guys coming from different parts of the world and connecting through baseball. And it's cool to see the bond that JD and Kazama have developed early on.
And we see it in the major leagues a lot. You saw with Garrett Cole, Kyle Higashioka's his personal catcher, and he wasn't exactly the number one choice for the Yankees catching, and that seems to be a similar bond that Kazama and Osborne have here. Just sometimes two guys really connect, and it shows in their chemistry on the field.
2-1 pitch, fastball in the outer half. It's 2-2. And it was really cool. I was down by the dugout after JD made that out. He went over to the Gatorade cooler, grabbed a drink, then stood next to Kazama on the dugout railing. And, you know, you could see he was visibly frustrated, and Kazama just, quick pat on the back and said, hey, it's okay, bro. Something like that. I'm paraphrasing, of course. But it was really cool to see that connection. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Make it 3 outs. Drops the hammer on him, and the inning is over. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Kazama, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the Bandits leave him loaded. We go to the bottom of the first, no score in Melbourne. Keep it locked right here on Aces TV.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Nice crowd on hand tonight at Melbourne Ballpark. The Aces had their best crowd of the season in last night's game. 1,443 fans packed into Melbourne Ballpark last night. The Aces couldn't finish it off with a win as we take a look at Kazama's strikeouts there to end the first inning. Josh, how about that last curveball? Just absolutely froze Dai Kang Yang.
Just one of those pitches. Kazama's curves has a 12-6 drop, which means it starts high and then just instantly plummets straight downward. And when you can get one of those high in the zone like Kazama did, it looks like it's going to be a ball. It looks like it's at your eyes, but then at the last second, it falls right into place. And that was just absolutely nasty.
Well, the 19-year-old Kazama worked a scoreless first. He threw 29 pitches and stranded the bases loaded. He worked himself into a bases loaded 1-out jam by walking 2 batters, but then Andrew Campbell and Dai Kang Yang both went down looking on nasty pitches. And Kazama, a confidence-boosting inning on the mound. He'll go back out for a second with more work to do. But for now, the Aces will get a chance to jump on the board first against right-hander Tim Atherton, Jared Dale, Aaron Whitefield, and Robbie Glendinning, the top 3 in the Aces order. Dale, 2 hits in last night's game. It was his first multi-hit game of the year. He was at shortstop last night, back at third tonight. Dale and Glendinning have been flip-flopping back and forth on the left side of the diamond. Next pitch from Atherton, popped up right side. Foul ground. Miller, the catcher, has his mask off, but It won't matter as that one sails into the seats, and one lucky fan's going to get a souvenir. Really is a nice crowd on hand tonight, Josh, and why wouldn't it be with the weather the way it is? And always a fun night at Melbourne Ballpark.
Yeah, it's the best day we've seen in Melbourne in a while, and a pretty high bounce that ball took in the stands. That traveled from right field closer to the general admission area behind home plate.
Well, the wind's blowing in from left field today, so you can see the ball kind of blowing back that direction. 2-1 to Dale. Spoils another one foul. It's 2-2.
And I like the approach from Dale so far in this at-bat. He's seeing pitches in the zone. He's swinging at them. He dummied a bunt in the first pitch of the game from Atherton. Really, maybe hinting towards an emphasis on small ball for the Aces, which I think would be a welcome change.
Next pitch from Atherton, and Dale deposits that one into the seats. Atherton, 6 feet 2 inches tall. He's been around a while, 33 years old. He's from Kempsey, New South Wales, and is well-traveled in the ABL. This is his 10th ABL season. 4 with Canberra, 1 with Sydney, and the last 5 with Brisbane. His 4 seasons with Canberra were split up. He went 2 in Canberra, 1 in Sydney, 2 in Canberra, and then the last half-decade with the Bandits. Dale shoots one up the middle, a base hit to start the Aces night at the plate. So he's got 3 hits in his last 2. And he'd be a great guy to get going at the top of the order.
Yeah, picking up right where he left off last night. Couple of well-placed singles. One that he beat out for an infield hit, and that one exactly where you want it, just right up the middle. Got a good bit of barrel on that. And you got a very good base runner on first base for a former Bandit.
Well, here's Aaron Whitefield, 2-time Helms Award winner, 1-time ABL Defensive Player of the Year. Couple stints in the big leagues, made his debut with the Twins in 2020, got back up with the Angels this past season. First pitch to Aaron's a fastball that misses, 1-0. Defensively for the Bandits, Miller's behind the plate, Bennett at third, Wade at short, Moore's at second, Lutz is over at first. In the outfield, Riley in left, Tolbert in center, and Yang in right. 1-0 the count on Aaron. Early scoring opportunity for the Aces. Whitefield drives one to deep right field. Yang glides back, shy of the track, makes the grab. Well, another ball that Whitefield hits hard and gives a ride out to the outfield, but it lands in Yang's glove for out number 1.
Yeah, this is similar to last night. He had a couple of really nice drives, but is just missing. A guy like him, it's a matter of time. It really is. It's a matter of time before he gets the rest of his barrel on that ball and starts hitting home runs like we're used to seeing from him. Starts hitting those long gap-to-gap kind of hits. And you can just tell that it's coming for Whitefield.
Here's Robbie Glendinning with 1 gone and 1 on. No score, bottom 1. Pitch to Robbie, misses down and away. Glendinning leads the Aces in batting average, on-base percentage, slugging percentage, and OPS. Hitting .289, reaching base at a .356 clip. Slugging's at .500, and the OPS at .856. And those numbers were even higher. He went hitless the last 2 days. Snap throw to first, it gets away from Lutz. Dale recognized it right away, and he pulls into second on the throwing error from Tim Atherton.
Good heads-up base running from Dale, and that's something the Aces profited from last night. A couple of errors and taking advantage of it, and a guy like Jared Dale, a really smart base runner, he's going to do that every time.
Well, the Brisbane Bats have been hot from the go, and they've dominated all 4 rounds of the ABL season so far. The pitching has been really good, but seems like the weakness on this team might be defensively, Josh. Glendinning rips one just foul down the left field line.
Really close from Glendinning, but yeah, I mean, early in the regular season when it really seems like the Aces are still getting their sea legs under them, as it were, you can get away with a couple of errors, but there's a chance that these two meet for the Claxton Shield. I mean, these are top to bottom 2 of the best teams in the ABL this season, and if the Bandits keep on making those errors in the playoffs, that's not going to fly.
4 errors last night, like we've mentioned a couple times. Now Dale Got way too far off the second right there, but was able to scamper back. Umpires in tonight's ballgame, Neil Medlin's behind home plate. Tom West is the first base umpire. Casey Cook over at third base. Aces with a man in scoring position early, as one of the hotter hitters on the team, Glendinning, has a bat in his hand, fouls one back. Well, Josh, I mentioned the numbers for Glendinning, and they're excellent, but he hasn't recorded a hit each of the last two nights, so those numbers were even higher.
Yeah, he's a guy with a career batting average over 300, slugging percentage over 400, slugging percentage over 400, on base percentage over 400, slugging percentage over 500, and that is elite.
Yeah, the 3-4-5 slash line. Yep.
That is what guys strive for at any level of the game, and to do that over a multi-year career is so impressive.
And Dinning takes on the outer half. That's strike 3. Thought it was 2 for a second, but it is in fact strike 3. So Robbie waited a second. Pretty sure he was a little upset with that call. He's back to the dugout. 2 down for Jake Skoll, the right fielder. Skoll joins the Aces after 2 excellent campaigns in the Atlantic League in 2021 and 2022, playing for the Gastonia Honey Hunters. One of the best names in all of baseball, Josh. I mean, that's great.
Yeah. Not sure. I think a honey hunter got to be some kind of bee, but, it sounds way cooler. Why would anyone call a bee when you can call him a honey hunter?
Dale at second. Big secondary for him. Skoll takes a strike on the outer half. Looks like Neil Medlin's got a big strike zone tonight, as that one looked wide.
And we saw a couple of guys from both teams talk to the umpire just a little bit. Obviously, nothing out of hand. But both teams not completely on board with the strike calling here.
Miller, the catcher, set up way outside there, realizing that Medlin's calling that outside pitch, but no call there. It's 1-1 on Skoll. Atherton 2-0 with a 2.45 ERA through 2 starts. 11 innings of work. He's given up 4 runs, 3 of them earned. 10 strikeouts and no walks. Those are 2 numbers to keep an eye on moving forward. 1 strikeout and no walks so far tonight. 1-1 to Skoll. Drills a breaking ball out to deep right center field, and that one's gone. Fire me up, Jake Skoll. A 2-run shot, and the Aces are on the board early. The Aces scored first last night. They did not extend the lead. They score first again tonight. See if they can extend it this time. 2-0 Aces over the Bandits, thanks to Jake Skoll's first home run in the ABL.
And what a shot that was. A no-doubter. As soon as you heard that, you didn't have to see. That's one of those you didn't even have to see to know that was gone. A perfect crack off the bat. Absolutely crushed that ball.
We're having some fun tonight, aren't we, Josh?
Already, man. And look at that. Hung that one right over the plate for Skoll. Destroyed it.
You hang them, we bang them. You know what they say. 2-0 Aces thanks to Jake Skoll's first home run. Well, that dude's done nothing but hit since he's arrived. Man hopped off a plane 5 days ago. Well, this one's driven to the gap, but Yang runs it down, and Osborne is retired for the final out of the first. Aces score first for the second straight night. We'll see if they can make it hold up later in the game. See if they can extend it as well. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, no one left on. Jake Skoll puts the Aces up 2-0 with 1 swing to the top of the second after this on Aces TV.
We've been there for every game of 4 and 25. When Meatloaf overcooked it and Gregan saved that try. When Brownie takes one for the team and Bradbury skated by. This golden crusty pastry watched as Taylor kick the sky. When Ben Simmons makes a 3, we give a big high five. What future sport looks like just won't be run without a pie. Oh, what a lovely pie, me mates are 4 and 25. Oi!
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Well, the Aces take a 2-0 lead thanks to Jake Skoll's first home run in the Aces uniform. 2-0 Aces after a full inning of play. Kyuta Kazama goes back to work. Well, all Jake Skoll has done since he arrived in Melbourne is hit 2 hits and reached base safely 3 times, and also scored 2 runs in his season debut on Thursday. Came up with another base hit and also reached safely twice last night. And how about tonight? Gets a hanging breaking ball with 2 down in the bottom of the first and sends it over the right center field wall with authority. Jake Skoll making his presence felt early. He's played 3 games, and not even 3 full games in an Aces uniform, and that dude is already a fan favorite here at Melbourne Ballpark. So the 19-year-old Kazama goes back to work. A scoreless first. He worked himself into a 1-out bases-loaded jam thanks to 2 walks, but struck out Andrew Campbell and Dai Kang Yang both looking. Got himself out of the jam. And now Donald Lutz pops one up to the left side starting the second. See who wants it on that left side. It's the third baseman Dale. And Kazama has a quick out here in the second, exactly what he needed. Second pop-up he's induced. Haven't seen any hard contact yet against Kyuta. Tyler Tolbert's single in the first was a sinking liner, not hit very hard. And the only other balls that have been put in play are 2 pop-outs to third. So here's Will Riley, who has not yet played in this series. He's at left field tonight. Everything else the same with the Bandits lineup except Riley in left. The man who started in left the last 2 nights, Logan Trowbridge, is on the bench tonight. Well, the vibes are incredible at the ballpark tonight. Great crowd on hand, great weather. Best weather I've seen since I've been in Australia. And I've been here since mid-October. We had center field playing on the loudspeaker here in the ballpark in between innings. Aces with an early lead thanks to the Jake Skoll homer. I mean, what more can you ask for early on? Next pitch from Kazama, swing and a miss. 2 strikes now on the left-handed hitting Riley. Kazama looking to help stop the bleeding. The Aces have lost 6 games in a row. See if Kyuta is the man who can help stop it and pick up the win tonight for the squad. He picks up his 3rd strikeout there. Hat falls off, but it doesn't matter. Riley chased high and away, and there are 2 outs in the second.
Throwing so hard he's knocking hats off of everybody. I mean, Kazama's looking exactly like the pitcher we expected from him, one of the top Japanese pitching prospects. And again, just 19 years old. I can't say that enough, just showing how impressive he has gone.
We need to tweet out that video, that strikeout, and say hats off, Kyuta. He's just complimenting himself there. Here's Darian Miller, the catcher. Miller has started behind the plate in all 3 games of this series. He doubled in his first AB last night. Doubled and brought home a run with a sac fly in the 11-inning game on Thursday. Kazama falls behind him here. Kazama's retired each of the last 4 batters he's faced. 3 on strikeouts. Looks like he's in a groove now, finding that comfort level on the mound. That one's ripped foul. Kazama struck out 8 in his last start. And in that game, the last 4 batters he faced went down on strikes. He was really locked in, came out after 3 2/3, threw 64 pitches at Adelaide. And as young as he is and as much potential as he has, and also factoring in the fact that there's certain instructions he's got to follow from his Japanese team, and the coaches here with him in the ABL. The guy's not going to go deep into games. Don't want to overuse him, especially with as young as he is. But for however long he's out there, he is really fun to watch, and he's got dominant stuff. 6 feet tall. Just 19 years old. He was born on October 11th, 2003. I'm trying to think how old I was. I was 8. That makes me feel really old, Josh.
Yeah, I try not to look at players' ages in this league anymore because, same thing that you're saying. I'm 10 years older than half these guys.
Kazama looking for a 1-2-3 inning. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, blows a fastball by him, and the inning is over. 4 strikeouts for Kazama. He's retired the last 5 he's faced, and he works a clean second. We're headed to the bottom of the second. Aces lead it 2-0 over the Bandits. Keep it locked right here on Aces TV.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South. We have qualified horticulturalists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section is stocked with a full range of quality options. All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping. All-Star Access Hire are your access equipment specialists. We have an extensive range of state-of-the-art equipment and we pride ourselves on delivering outstanding customer service. We have the youngest fleet of equipment in Victoria and we are consistently adding new machines. We get to know our customers and form partnerships with them. This video is of our partnership with the Victorian Government at Reservoir Station. All-Star Access Hire are proud sponsors of the Melbourne Aces and our All-Star Bar.
Back with you at Melbourne Ballpark. My name is Michael Marcantonini, Josh Sperber alongside me. It's the Aces 2 and the Bandits nothing. The good vibes are rolling throughout the ballpark tonight. Jake Skoll, a 2-out, 2-run home run over the right center field wall in the bottom of the first. Kyuta Kazama has worked 2 scoreless on the flip side. And the Aces could be on their way to snapping that 6-game losing streak tonight. A lot of baseball left as Jacob Robson swings at the first pitch and sends it right back to Tim Atherton. 1 pitch and 1 out here in the second. But Josh, the vibes are immaculate tonight at the ballpark. I mean, Jake Skoll's homer, the way Kazama's looked, he's retired the last 5 he's faced. He's got 4 punch-outs.
Yeah, I mean, everything's just clicking early. I mean, obviously plenty of game left to go, but an early home run and a great start by Kazama, that's exactly what you want.
Kazama looks to keep going after a lengthy top of the first. He worked a quick top of the second, a 1-2-3 frame against this tough Bandits order. And now the 7-hole hitter, Matt O'Neill, up with 1 out and no one on. Atherton looked good in the first, and then he hung a breaking ball to Skoll, and Skoll didn't miss it. The 33-year-old right-hander delivers, and O'Neill fouls one back. And Josh, you can tell early on tonight, these Aces hitters just look like they're getting better swings off Atherton than they did off the 2 starters from the previous 2 nights and the bullpen.
Yeah, I mean, they're seeing the ball better, and their vision in the box has really just improved game by game the more they've gotten to see the way these Bandits players go. And it's paying off tonight.
Next one to O'Neill's a called strike on the outer half. Well, keep an eye on those outside corners, both to righties and lefties, and that is what Neil Medlin is calling tonight. George Khalil due up after O'Neill. If one of those 2 reaches, Jared Cruz will get a shot. 1-2, smack foul. Well, going into last night's game, the Aces struggling with runners in scoring position had been the theme over the losing streak. Before last night's game, the Aces were 6 for 55 with runners in scoring position during their 5-game losing streak, and of course with the loss last night it extended to 6 games. The Aces didn't have a ton of runners on last night, and it took till the later innings for them to get more than 1 run. But tonight has been a different story. Jake Skold knows he can hit with runners in scoring position, as he had Jared Dale out at second with 2 outs and sent one over the wall.
Yeah, run for 1 with runners in scoring position is pretty good.
O'Neill sends one back up the middle of the diamond into center field. Wade gave it all he had, but it has eyes into center.
And these are the kind of breaks that I was talking about in the pregame. A pitch like that, hit right back to the pitcher, that looked very similar to that double play ball that O'Neill hit in the 9th. That one, just a seeing eye single. Atherton was carried a bit towards first base on his delivery, and it ended up in the outfield. So a double play last night turns into a seeing eye single for O'Neill tonight. These are the kind of things that the Aces need to switch the momentum of this season.
With that hit, O'Neill gets his average up to 279. I mean, O'Neill's had his fair share of big hits so far this season, a couple big home runs, but quietly he's, base knock here, base knock there, and that average up around 280.
And from the catcher, I mean, usually that is not the kind of average that you see from your guy behind the plate, but O'Neill has been so consistent and so strong in this Aces lineup this year.
He's hit everywhere he's been throughout his career. Former Ivy League batting champion at the collegiate level over in the United States. Hit .405 his senior year. Khalil sends one in the air, deep left center field. Riley going after it. At the track, he makes the grab, and O'Neill retreats to first. Well, George Khalil almost sent one over the wall. It was another hanging breaking ball. Khalil got a good piece of it, but hit it to one of the deeper parts of the park.
And O'Neill certainly thought that ball was going for extra bases. He was chugging down the first base line, but just stayed in. And again, there's another one on the windier day. This is the least wind I think we've seen at Melbourne Ballpark this year. On a windier day, that might have carried out. Take a look here. Just another curveball hung right over the plate. Khalil barreled up on it.
Yeah, that's a great shot right there.
Yeah.
Shout out to our crew here at Sportcast Australia for hooking it up with that camera angle. But yeah, you saw Khalil square it up. And we mentioned earlier the wind blowing in from left field. Josh mentioned there isn't much wind, and Josh, I think you're right. This is probably the least windy day we've had, at least over the last 2 homestands.
If you see the flags in the outfield, you'll notice that they're pretty much flat.
Here's Jared Cruz, the designated hitter. Second straight start for Cruzy. He gets a breaking ball and sends it back foul. Now, a lot of the local guys in the ABL, the Australian natives that play in the league, I mean, a lot of these guys, if they're not playing professional baseball over in the United States or somewhere else, they've got to do other stuff throughout the year to make money and occupy their time and make a living. And found out the other day Jared's a PE teacher. So that a lot of these local Melbourne area guys have other jobs, and Jared teaches physical education for primary school students here in the Melbourne area. Just finished up uni last year and is in his first year as a teacher. It's just cool finding things out like this. It's so different from the States. It's so different seeing professional baseball players have other jobs than playing professional baseball, but that's just how it is over here.
Yeah, I mean, the season for players in the U.S. obviously a bit longer, but it just adds to the story of these guys. I mean, it's just interesting to see that he's doing so much more than just playing baseball.
Yeah, he's staying in shape, running around with the young kids, probably keeping him in good baseball shape.
They'll run you ragged.
But we know how it is as broadcasters over in the States. We've got to work multiple jobs, freelance stuff, seasonal stuff. You just got to piece it together. For me over in the States, aside from calling games for the Aberdeen Ironbirds, I do some college play-by-play. I work for a sports broadcasting camp. Shout out to my crew at play-by-play camps. And I also work as a substitute teacher. So, it's just piecing all of it together. And, I know you do more than one thing. It's just how it is. Cruz swings and misses there. And that ends the inning. So a strikeout for Atherton. He's got 2 on the night. He works through a scoreless second. No runs on 1 hit. No errors and one man left on through 2 full. It's the Aces 2 and the Bandits nothing. Josh taking over on the play-by-play after this on Aces TV.
Aussie gardeners are best served by Aussie tools, built specifically for our unique environment and conditions. Back in the 1890s, Leonard Chambers and William Thompson started a beekeeping supply business in Melbourne. Little would they know that their company would go on to change how Australians garden for well over a century. Cyclone is ingrained into our country's history and our way of life. Our tools are long-lasting and purpose-built for hard work.
We've been making quality tools for over a century.
They last that long, you can hand them down to the next generation. Good, quality, honest product that the Australian people have grown to love.
It's not an Aussie shed without a cyclone.
My biggest takeaway of being here for 34 years is just a sense of pride in the product.
Australians buy good products. So if they keep on buying, we keep on making, so we're here.
Cyclone tools, made for Australians.
To the top of the order for the Brisbane Bandits, and leading off is their centre fielder, Tyler Talbot.
Fans are having a good time. Music is pumping, and the Aces are winning here at Melbourne Ballpark. 2-0 the score, top of the third. And Kyuta Kazama comes out for another inning of work against the top of the Bandits lineup. Tyler Tolbert leading off. He takes the first pitch, a breaking ball for ball 1. Kazama, as Mike mentioned earlier on, a 5-pitch pitcher, 4-seamer that can hit up to 97, slider, curve, change, and a splitter. There's the curve. A nasty drop on there, but didn't lower enough, and it's 2-0.
Well, we're vibing tonight at the ballpark, Josh. This has been a lot of fun, and we're only 2+ innings into the game.
Saturday night at the ballpark, man, nothing better. Hit on a line, but a bounce fielded by Glendinning at short. Easy play to first. Tolbert almost beats it out, but it is out number 1 here in the third.
First out for the Brisbane Bandits.
Glendinning just waited back on that liner, and he was able to get the speedy Tyler Tolbert. That'll bring up Robert Moore. Two-way guy listed as a pitcher on the roster for Brisbane, but playing at second base for the third straight night. Pitch misses. Now 1-0. Moore drafted in the competitive bargaining round by the Brewers in 2022. 72nd overall pick out of the University of Arkansas, the top SEC baseball team. Part of that deal the Brewers have, sending their prospects to Brisbane, one of 3 major league teams to have some investment here in the ABL. This one's cranked to right field. Is that going to stay fair? It is not. I really thought that was foul.
Oh, I thought the. I just said I thought 4 times. Couldn't get the words out of my mouth. I thought the first base umpire Tom West put both his hands up, which would have meant foul ball.
Yeah, it looked like that to me, but it turns out it's going to be a ground rule double for Robert Moore. Must have bounced right on the line. One thing I did see is that ball bounced to the right of the foul pole, but it must have bounced in fair territory. We'll get a replay here.
Yeah, we got a tough angle
there.
Yeah,
let's see where that bounces.
With the sun, too. Yeah, it's tough to see. With the sun and the shadows, it's tough to see where that ball first landed. But evidently it landed in fair territory, then went over the fence, out of play, foul.
Close call, but the first extra base hit of the game for Brisbane. And there's a runner on second with 1 out, almost taken off the bag. A nice pickoff move to second base by Kazama, but Robert Moore sliding in just ahead of it. Just the second hit allowed here in the third inning. 2 hits, 2 walks allowed by Kazama, but he struck out 4. TJ Bennett awaits the pitch. Kazama is checking in on second, but he sends in a breaking ball low and inside, 1-0. Bennett walked in his first appearance. 2 home runs yesterday, but 2 errors in the field as well. Bennett already halfway to the all-time home run record, and we're not even at the halfway point of the season yet. 1-0 hit on the ground to first. That's going to roll foul. Count 1-1. Just 14 games into the season. This one is game 15. And Bennett is currently ahead of the home run record pace in the ABL.
And the dude's on an absolute tear. It's impressive what he's done early on. And Aces saw firsthand last night how much pops in that bat.
The 1-1. Missed upstairs, count 2-1, and he kind of came on late. You know, it was really Song Chan-Oi and Geelong Korea who had most of those top guys in terms of the home run race. Bunch of players from Perth, but in that sweep of Canberra last week and with 2 last night, TJ Bennett got his name on the board as a pickoff attempt at second narrowly misses.
They are really close at second. A couple times now, Kazama to Glendinning, they've had that play on. And Robert Moore just trying to inch a little bit farther off the bag. The Aces might get him if he gets any farther off.
Yeah, if I'm Moore, I stop leading so much.
Yeah, no more for Moore.
Nice. 2-1, grounded foul again, and it's 2-2. Because it kind of seems like both of those pickoff attempts got closer and closer. And for a right-hander on second, for really any pitcher on second base, that's not an easy pickoff move to make.
And Glendinning does a good job coming in behind the runner Moore, and quiet feet back there. And Kazama, that's one where the pitcher could easily throw it into the dirt, throw it into center field high. But Kazama made 2 accurate throws.
And you can see there he shifted close to the second base bag as Bennett fouls this one back again. Shifted close to the second base bag to be ready to cover for Moore. Part of it is because of the shift on the left-handed batter, but you see how close he is to second base. He is ready to make that tag and get another big out.
Kazama looking back at both Moore and Glendinning right now. 1, to keep the runner close, but 2, to see where Glendinning is.
2-2. Hit on the ground, foul again. This is something that Bennett does very well. A power-hitting guy who can get a lot of defensive at-bats. He had a couple of those go late in the count in yesterday's game especially. And today, both of his at-bats, he's fouled off 2 strike pitches. Even did so on his double play in the first last night. 2-2 again. Just missing upstairs, and the count runs full. Second time TJ Bennett has been caught on a full count. He's part of the reason that Kazama's pitch count is as high as it is.
And that's one thing that'll come for Kazama once he develops more as a pitcher and just gets more innings under his belt, is the command and working quicker innings.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, but it goes behind the catcher. Moving to third is Moore, and out at first is TJ Bennett. A close play and a runner going into scoring position, but a K2-3 to make it 2 outs here in the third. 5th punch out for Kyuta Kazama.
Really nice all the way around for the Aces. Nasty pitch for Kazama, buries that breaking ball down in the zone, and one that he wanted the hitter to chase, and Bennett did. And then for Osborne to keep it close and make a strong throw to O'Neill at the bag. Now, for Osborne, that's a tough play because he's moving towards the third base side, and then he has to, kind of throw across the field to first. O'Neill, who was working on his footwork with the coaching staff around the first base bag earlier in the game, did a great job as well.
So 1 on and 2 out for Logan Wade, who represents the tying run. He takes a pitch low, ball 1. He had himself a good game last night. Hits in his first 2 at-bats, including a home run. Bounced foul, and I think Wade hit that off of his foot. Count 1-1. 2-0 the lead for the Aces. Logan Wade also walked in the first. Kazama settling himself in on the pitcher's mound. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs here in the top of the third inning. 1-1 inside, and a nice snag by J.D. Osborne to keep a run from scoring. 2-1. Wade on the year in his 10th season in the ABL, all of them with Brisbane. Hitting .231 in 4 games, total of 3 for 13. Own homer of the year came last night. 2-1 pitch. That's hit high in the air, out to right field. Khalil's called off by Jake Skoll, who makes the one-handed grab to end the inning. So the Bandits threaten with an extra base hit and put a runner on third base, but once again, Kyuta Kazama and the Aces preserve the shutout. 3 scoreless innings for Brisbane, 2-0 the lead for Melbourne, heading into the bottom of the third here on Aces TV.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Two 2-0 the lead for the Aces. Bottom of the third inning with Atherton staying out there for Brisbane. Josh Sperber, Michael Mark Antonini here behind a really, really nice crowd in Melbourne. A lot of people coming out to enjoy a beautiful day. Top of the order coming up for the Aces, Dale Whitefield and Glenn Dinning. Dale with a single and a run. He had the first 2 hits of the day for Melbourne last night and led off the game with a single for the Aces in the first. Atherton deals. Pop high in the air, settling on the infield. Darian Miller easing under it. Now it's in foul territory, and Donald Lutz makes the grab for out number 1. The wind kind of took that into foul territory, and there's the first out of the inning. And that's going to bring up Aaron Whitefield, who hit it well, but ended up an easy catch for Dai Kang Yang in his last at bat. Whitefield played a couple of years with Brisbane, won himself a ring, won himself a Helms Award. Here with his 3rd ABL team on the Melbourne Aces. First pitch to him, he dummies a bunt and holds it there for a called strike. And Whitefield said that a big reason for him coming to Melbourne was Robbie Glendinning, a good friend of his, teammate on Team Australia, and fellow minor leaguer, as Whitefield swings and misses at strike 2. Glendinning in the Pirates system. And Whitefield in the Angels system. Played a couple of games with the Angels this year as he slices this into right field, right at Dai Kang Yang. Another deep fly out for Aaron Whitefield, and there's 2 gone here in the 3rd. Robbie Glendinning went to the University of Missouri, another SEC powerhouse.
The batter's box.
Drafted by the Pirates, but signed by the Royals in 2022, where he played with the Northwest Arkansas Naturals in AA. 252 hitter, 19 homers and 76 RBIs in the Texas League this year as he takes ball 1. 21st round pick, but he has stayed mainly in AA over the last 2 seasons. And the 1-0. That's hammered out to left field, but right at Will Riley. Another 1-2-3 inning. Actually, the first 1-2-3 inning for Atherton and the Bandits, as Glendinning just missed getting all of that one. Aces down in order, but they have a 2-0 lead as we head to the 4th here on Aces TV.
3 out for the Aces, bottom of the 3rd, they lead 2-0. Business Network International is flourishing.
Oh, we've been there for every game of 4 and 25. When Meatloaf overcooked it and Gregan saved that try. When Brownie takes one for the team and Bradbury skated by. This golden crusty pastry watched as Taylor kick the sky. When Dan Simmons makes a 3, we give a big high five. What future sport looks like just won't be run without a pie. Oh, what a lovely pie, me mates are 4 and 25. Oi!
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Yuta Kazama out in the 4th inning for his 3rd time this season. In his 3rd start, of course, his first one cut short by rain against Perth. Josh Sperber and Michael Mark Antonini here in the top of the 4th inning as the Aces lead the league-best Brisbane Bandits 2-0. Aces have lost their last 6. Brisbane winners in their last 9. So 2 streaks on the line tonight. And you know what the Aces faithful are looking for.
I think it's about time Brisbane's winning streak comes to an end. You know, it's just that time. I mean, we need one in the win column here in Melbourne. And so far, so good. See if Kiyuta can keep rolling on the mound.
That is flared foul down the left field line by Andrew Campbell, 0-1.
He's just looked much more comfortable in each of his 3 starts. You know, the first start, you could tell there were some nerves and, was wild high with the fastball. And then in that 2nd inning of that first start, really settled in. But by then, he had already given up a couple runs and the pitch count was high. That 2nd start in Adelaide, really poised and was just all there on the mound. You know, all of his pitches were working, and I think he was, you could tell he was having fun out there. And the same thing tonight. I mean, he's just locked in.
And really the only blemish on his game tonight was that 1st inning. Yeah. And that was still a scoreless inning. 0-2. Hit on the ground to 2nd. Easy play for Khalil, and there's out number 1. That'll bring up Dai Kang Yang as Campbell's retired for the 2nd time.
That 1st inning, the 2 walks, but like you said, no runs scored. He was able to get himself out of it. And that's what strikeout pitchers can do for themselves. You know, You know, it's okay if you walk a couple guys because they've got the stuff to be able to get out of jams because you can limit contact.
Yeah, and that's really, again, it wasn't a bad inning. It was just that he threw a lot of pitches in that first, almost 30 pitches in the first inning for his second home start. But other than that, and even in that first inning, he had 2 walks. He punctuated that with 2 strikeouts.
He's retired the leadoff man in each of the last 3 innings. Second inning, pop out to third. Third inning, ground out to short. Here in the fourth, ground out to second. So getting that leadoff man is huge.
And Kazama now is a 2-0 to Dai-Kang Yang. As he deals, hit to second. Weird hop for Khalil, but he makes a nice play, guiding it into his glove for the second out.
Too easy for George Khalil over there. He's really smooth.
And we talked about this a lot. Aces have 3 shortstops out there. Khalil, a primary shortstop. Glendinning, really the primary shortstop for the Aces. And Jared Dale, a primary shortstop as well. So no holes in this infield.
Yeah, Khalil's really found a home over at second base. That's where he's played most of the last 2 series with Glendinning and Dale, both mainstays on the left side. And Khalil is really settling in.
His first pitch to Donald Lutz misses low and away. And I've seen Khalil in, like, during batting practice, start getting some reps at third base. And with the smooth glove that he has, you could easily see him on the hot corner. He gets another one here. A late hop and a 1-2-3 inning courtesy of George Khalil. 4-3, 4-3, 4-3 reads the box score, and it's 2-0 Aces still heading into the bottom of the fourth.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South. We have qualified horticulturalists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section is stocked with a full range of quality options. All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping. All-Star Access Hire are your access equipment specialists. We have an extensive range of state-of-the-art equipment, and we pride ourselves on delivering outstanding customer service. We have the youngest fleet of equipment in Victoria, and we are consistently adding new machines. We get to know our customers and form partnerships with them. This video is of our partnership with the Victorian Government at Reservoir Station. All-Star Access Hire are proud sponsors of the Melbourne Aces and our All-Star Bar.
Bottom of the fourth inning. Aces in control here. 2-0 the score thanks to Jacob Skoll, who is leading off this fourth inning.
Yeah, his first 2 RBIs as a member of the Aces, his first home run here as an Ace. I mean, he has done nothing but hit since he hopped off the plane a couple days ago.
His first home run of the season. Jet lag has no effect on this guy.
Now that baseball's going to have some jet lag.
Yeah. I'm not sure that came down yet. That was an absolute rocket. Coming off a big season in the Atlantic League with the Gastonia Honey Hunters as he takes a pitch low and away for ball 1.
And he swipes bags too. You know, for a guy as big as he is and as built as he is, you know, he's still swiping bags.
23 homers, 30 stolen bases for Gastonia this past season. Top 10 in both of those categories. Also top 10 in walks, RBIs, and led the league with 23 outfield assists. So really doing it all Fort Augustonia Honey Hunters team that had the best record at the end of the regular season in the Atlantic League.
That's insane to have 23 outfield assists in a season. Like, at some point you got to stop running on the guy.
They did not learn. And we've talked about the strong defensive outfield of the Aces. They certainly can pack a punch on offense, as we've seen.
You can just tell he's a freak of an athlete. I mean, the guy was drafted 15 overall when he was 18 years old and plays minor league ball, and then he's like, all right, I'm going to go play D1 football. And then he's like, all right, I'm going to go back and play pro baseball again.
Not just D1 football, SEC football with the 2019 Sugar Bowl champion Georgia Bulldogs as he checks his swing, but it's a called strike anyway, 2-2. And, obviously there are plenty of five-star guys who have been born and bred to play football their whole lives that are starting ahead of him, but he won the scout team MVP both years he was with Georgia. Won the Sugar Bowl in 2019. 2-2. Missed low, count 3-2. And then we've talked about some of the guys that were drafted in that draft in 2010. The Bryce Harper draft, he was first overall. Drew Pomerantz was in there. Manny Machado was the third pick. Chris Sale, Matt Harvey, Christian Yelich. Absolutely stacked first round. Payoff pitch misses outside, and Skoll will reach base for the second time.
Yeah, half the Phillies' 2022 roster was in that draft. None of them homegrown guys. You got Harper, JT Realmuto, Nick Castellanos, and Noah Syndergaard were all picked within the first 50, 60 picks of that draft. But yeah, just to your point, just an absolutely stacked draft. And the draft that produced a ton of big leaguers. Of course, Skoll not one of them, but man's had himself a pretty successful professional baseball career.
And this could be his road back. We have certainly seen plenty of players sign minor league contracts. 16 aces have gone on to play in the big leagues after they were contracted to play here in Melbourne. And Skoll now with a hit and a walk in each of his first two games, taking a hefty lead off of first base, and a slider missed outside to Osborne, 1-0.
You mentioned earlier in the broadcast that 3 MLB organizations have deals with ABL teams to send prospects over here. That number is going to continue to grow over the years. You see how much talent's in this league right now. And it continues to grow over the years. I mean, from people that I've talked to, this is my first ABL season, yours as well. We don't know a ton that's gone on here before this year. But just hearing people talk about the league and how it's grown, the talent just continues to grow every year. And you look up and down the 8 rosters in this league, every team's got some studs.
And you look at even the roster of these aces as Osborne pops this one up to right field. Moore eases under it, seeds it to the right fielder Dai Kang Yang for out number 1. Moore, a guy who is in the Brewers minor league system. Osborne in the Marlins minor league system, played as high as AAA Jacksonville this year. Jacob Robson has some big league time. I mean, you can look around the infield, look around the Aces locker room, and you see minor league guys, big league guys all over.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many, obviously, for the Australian fans that are watching our broadcast, I mean, this is summer ball for them. This is their summer season. But for us coming from the States, we refer to this as winter ball. And there are so many different winter ball leagues. And it's pretty cool to see what it's like out in Australia. Now, I think the draw for most big league organizations is to send guys to some of the Latin countries, the Dominican Republic, Venezuela, Puerto Rico, and especially for the Latin players, they'll go back home and play there. But I think internationally, people have realized that the ABL is a pretty solid option for guys coming from big league organizations to come over and play winter ball out here.
Jacob Robson swings and misses, 1-1 count to him. And yeah, I mean, it's just as respected, if not more so, than some of those leagues in the Latino countries. And as you said, just a ton of talent here. Ronald Acuna played here. As Skoll thought about going, Robson offers it a curveball and misses, count 1-2.
Certain players can help put an entire league on the map, and I think the connection with Ronald Acuna Jr. and the ABL has really helped not only the Aces, but the entire league.
And of course, you can look to the Aces dugout for that as well. Front office with a whole lot of big league experience in the Aces front office. Skoll thought about it. Chopper to first base. No play at second, so Lutz will have to sprint towards the bag, tag it before Robson gets there. Skoll is on second, but an unassisted grounder for Robson makes it 2 out.
Productive out for Robson, another AB where he battles in the count and works the count, puts a man in scoring position, and continue the conversation about the AB out. Now, of course, it is really far. You know, it's tough to get over here. It's a lot easier for teams to send players to it, for players just on their own to go to the Caribbean or South America, Central America, and play winter ball. Mexico is another country where there's a lot of good winter ball. But it's a part of winter ball, and I keep referring to it as winter ball because that's what it is for us, is an experience. We're out here for a career experience, but we're also getting a life experience here.
First pitch to Matt O'Neill, settles on the inside corner for a called strike. And it's also about growing the game of baseball internationally. Baseball has really undergone a resurgence, I think in part thanks to the 2004 Olympics, where Australian won a medal, silver medal in that. John Diebel coach team. See guys in both dugouts who are members of that squad. Graham Lloyd, the pitching coach, Dave Nielsen, the manager for the Bandits, won that silver medal in Athens as O'Neill swings and misses at strike 2. And there's a lot of Australian budding talent, and you see the Aces are at the forefront of it here. Robbie Glendenning, a Double-A guy. Aaron Whitefield has had some time in the league. Liam Hendricks spent some time in the ABL. One of the best receivers in baseball right now. Now the 2-2. Fouled back by O'Neill. Stays 0-2.
A lot of young talent, too. Guys that are 21, 22, 23. Yeah, the future of the game is bright here in Australia. I think that's the goal everywhere, is to grow the game internationally in all different countries, and Australia is definitely on the up and up.
And it starts with this ABL. You talk to a lot of the local Australian players. Australian Aaron Whitefield was telling us that, this is the show. For these local guys who grow up playing baseball, this is the show for them. And misses outside, 1-2. Obviously, Major League's the ultimate goal, but this still a similar opportunity for these guys.
Yeah, I know baseball is not one of the more popular sports in Australia, and for as many sports as they have, baseball is a little lower on the totem pole. But I just love asking players and the coaches and even fans how they first got interested in the game out here.
1-2 pitch. O'Neill grounds this one to short. Wade waits on it, sends it across the diamond to end the inning. One runner left stranded, no hits, just the walk to Jacob Skoll. No runs come across for the Aces. We head into the 5th inning, and it is still 2-0 Melbourne. We'll take a quick break, but first, we'll Dental has delivered the best results through continually updating their skills and technology. Dr. Andrews and his team take great pride in treating patients like family. Melbourne Aces players trust their teeth to Hobson's Bay Dental, and you should too. Business Network International is flourishing across Melbourne's west and Geelong. Local businesses, including the Aces, join BNI for professional development, networking opportunities, and to increase business prospects. Find your local BNI chapter to tap a wealth of resources and join a winning team. There are a lot of interesting spots to take in a game here at Melbourne Ballpark, and recently, our own Ed Wyatt did a bit of exploring himself. Take a look at his visit to the Cyclone Tool Shed down the third baseline.
This is the Cyclone Tool Shed. There aren't any rakes here, but there's food, there's drink, and there's a great place to watch a game. You got picnic tables. You can see the visiting team and give them a bad time, keeping it clean, of course. But you got bean bags where you can chill out. In fact, those bean bags looking pretty good. I might head down there myself. I think this Cyclone Tool Shed is going to work out just fine. As you can see, many places to watch a ball game here at Melbourne Ballpark. melbourneaces.com.au. Check it out. See you at the ballpark.
Top of the 5th inning at Melbourne Ballpark. Michael Marcantonini and Josh Sperber with you on the call. It's been all aces tonight so far. Still a lot of baseball left to be played, but the Aces looking to snap their 6-game losing streak. Also looking to end the Bandits' 9-game winning streak. Great crowd on hand at the ballpark. A lot of great food and drinks to be had all around the ballpark, whether you go down to the Cyclone Tool Shed or the All-Star Bar, the canteen, behind home plate. You got the food trucks down the right field line. Plenty of good options here at the park. Taking a look at, the fans in the seats. Everybody's having a good time, and why wouldn't you be? Excellent weather here at the ballpark. 0% chance of rain in the forecast. We love that. And, of course, the most important thing, Josh, Aces up 2-0.
Yeah, and a great start by Kyuta Kazama to help keep them there. Obviously, the Skoll home run tells the difference, but you got to give Kazama a whole lot of credit. Battled himself into a little bit of trouble in the first inning, got out of that unscathed, and since then he was lights out.
We've got a punt 1-2-3 pitching change here at Melbourne Ballpark as the Aces go to their bullpen. Kyuta Kazama is done after 4 shutout innings, scattered 2 hits and walked 2 while striking out 5. He threw 66 pitches, 36 of them for strikes, an excellent start for him, by far his best of the season. And now his Japanese teammate with the SoftBank Hawks, Mizuki Miura, takes over. The left-hander delivers a first-pitch ball to Will Riley. It's Riley, Miller, and Tolbert, 8-9-1 for Brisbane. And Miura, for the 3rd straight time, is the first man out of the pen behind Kazama. This one sent down the right field line, but out of play. And that was the plan coming into the season. Kazama would start, and then whenever he would come out of the game, Miura would take over, and it's worked out really well so far.
Yeah, it really has, and just going off Kazama, 2 walks and 1 hit in the first inning. After that, 1 hit.
He was really good and had the strikeout pitch working. On his last start, he struck out 8 3 2/3. Tonight, 5 4 innings of work. It's just fun watching that kid go out there and throw the baseball. Same with Miura here. Miura, more of a veteran in Japan, as he induces a pop-up. He says he wants it himself, and he makes the grab for out number 1. Pitchers can field their position. A lot of times they tell the pitcher, get out of the way, let somebody else catch the pop-up. But no, Miura said, let me get this one. I got it.
I know you want to keep the pitcher just fresh for throwing, but if it's right at him, why not take it? And that one, just a step off the mound for Mizuki Miura. Easy decision to call off the first baseman and secure that out himself.
Miura last pitched on November 26th at Adelaide. Worked 3 1/3 innings, gave up 1 run on 4 hits, struck out 2 and walked 1. Threw 51 pitches in a game in which he eventually took the loss. He pitched a lot better than, eventually taking the loss in that game. He pitched a lot better than getting the loss, is what I'm trying to say. Left on left, here's Miller, the catcher. Pitch from Miura, breaking ball, catches the outer part of the plate. And Miura hangs that leg a little bit longer than Kazama does. And also you got a righty, now a lefty. Kazama throws a little, not as hard. He doesn't throw as hard as Kazama, so it's a big difference going from one to the next. Tough task for the hitters. That one off the hands into right, but Skoll is under that can of corn, 2 up, 2 down.
And that was a nice jam shot pitch. Miura, not a guy who relies on the fastball as much as Kazama does, but he loves using that location. And getting those tough pitches in is really his bread and butter. Jamming the guy, inducing a weak pop-up out in the right field. That's what you want to see.
Looking for a 1-2-3 inning, picking up right where Kazama left off. Miura goes back to work against the leadoff man, Tolbert. Shows bunt, pulls back. It's outside, 1-0. 2-0 Aces thanks to a Jake Skoll first inning 2-run homer. Did that with 2 outs. Got a hanging breaking ball, sent it over the right center field wall. Absolutely crushed it. Only runs of the game so far. Now Tolbert rips one out to left center. And Robson can't get there. It's past him. Whitefield on the backup. Here's a strong throw into second. A tag from Khalil. Not in time. Well, Robson knew that he could kind of sell out and try to make the shoestring grab because Whitefield was behind there backing up. Taking a look at our All-Star Access Higher replay. It's a nice piece of hitting there from Tolbert. A really strong throw, Josh, from Aaron Whitefield.
And I thought for a second that was going to get Tolbert, but a pretty creative slide. The throw to the outside of the bag, Tolbert sliding in. And that's just good base running from Tyler Tolbert to get himself on second once again.
So 2 down and a man on second. Here's Robert Moore. He doubled his last time up. 2 hits for Tolbert now. He has 2 of the 3 hits for the Bandits. Well, the top 4 hitters in this Brisbane lineup have done all the damage tonight. The top 4 have combined to reach base safely 5 times. They have all 3 Bandits hits and also 2 walks. Meanwhile, the 5 through 9 hitters are hitless, and none have reached base. Kazama can't get the win tonight. He only went 4 innings. So Miuta, right now, the pitcher of record. Now that he's recorded at least 1 out. He's got 2 and looking for a 3rd. Now what Kazama and Miuta have done in each of their 3 outings follows pretty much what happens in minor league baseball. It follows more of the minor league model with pitchers where you've got a starter and then a set piggyback reliever who knows he's going to come in after the starter's done. And Josh and I have seen it quite a bit in the minor leagues where we'll, as broadcasters, we'll know ahead of time that, all right, this starter, starter X, he's going to go 4 innings or 5 innings, and then, pitcher Y is going to come in after and throw the next 3 or 4. A lot of times you'll have a starter in the minor leagues go 4, a reliever go 5, or a starter go 5 and a reliever go 4. And it's essentially like 2 guys getting starter work in, but 1 starts and 1 relieves. You see that a lot at the lower levels of minor league baseball, low A, high A, even sometimes at double A for younger pitchers. And that's the model that is being followed with Kazama, just a 19-year-old. He starts games with pitch counts somewhere between the 60 to 70 range. He's thrown between 60 and 70 in all 3 of his outings. And then Miura, a more seasoned vet, comes in after and eats up those middle to late innings. Next pitch from Mizuki, that's outside, and the count runs full.
And in the minors, that piggybacking is especially common when you have an injured player rehabbing with a minor league team. You'll see if it's a major league starting pitcher, you'll see them throw a couple innings at the beginning of a game, and then the regularly scheduled starter for that team throw his normal starter reps.
Look at second. Next pitch, sent in the air, deep right center field. No problem for Whitefield and Skoll. It's Skoll who makes the grab, and the inning is over. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. A man left in scoring position. 5 shutout innings between Kazama and Miuta. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's still Aces 2, Bandits nothing. Keep it right here on Aces TV.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
It's the Aces 2 and the Bandits nothing. Bottom of the 5th inning from Melbourne Ballpark. Well, you saw that commercial there as we came back. Light and easy, fueling the Aces all season long. And Josh, it's been a light and easy night so far for 2 Aces pitchers, Kyuta Kazama and Mizuki Miura, who have combined for 5 shutout innings.
I mean, if you're going to keep saying light and easy, I'm going to get hungry, and that's going to be problematic for
I'm already
everyone.
hungry.
That's fair. I mean, so am I, but regardless, you got a great pitching match to focus on. Kazama looked pretty good in that 5th inning, Miura looked pretty good in the 5th inning. Kazama coming off of his best start of the season, a scoreless outing, 5 strikeouts, and all of those Ks coming at key times.
I'm telling you, like clockwork, I get hungry in the 5th and 6th innings of every night game. But light and easy always keeps me fueled. George Khalil swings at the first pitch, leading off the bottom of the 5th. It's Khalil, Cruz, and Jail, 8-9-1, against right-hander Tim Atherton, who hung a breaking ball to Jacob Skoll in the 1st inning. Skoll sent it over the right center field wall for a 2-run homer. That has produced the only runs of the game for either team. And the Aces' 2 Japanese pitchers have helped that stand up so far.
And Khalil was pretty close to adding to that lead. He had a deep fly ball that ended up as an out in the 2nd inning.
You know, on a different night, that ball might have gotten out. A different story here. He's down on strikes. Fastball up in the zone, 1 up, 1 down. So here's Jared Cruz. He struck out swinging his first time up. So Josh, we've talked about it a lot over the last couple days. You know, the Aces have scored early, but they haven't scored often in games, and they haven't extended leads. And same story tonight, but the pitching's been so good it hasn't mattered, at least right now.
And it's always good to rely on your pitching, but you can't get too comfortable with your starters. You have to just grind out hits, look for those little pockets of contact, and just get on base. But obviously the pitching doing the job tonight. The Aces just need a little bit more offense for some security as this game gets longer.
Atherton's really locked in over the last few innings. He's not allowed a run over his last 3+ frames. Allowed a 1-out single in the 2nd, a 1-2-3 3rd, walked the leadoff man in the 4th, but retired the next 3, and has the leadoff man gone in the 5th. Oh, 2 to Jared Cruz. He's down on strikes as well. Breaking ball there got him. 2 gone, both via the strikeout. Back to the top for Dale.
6 pitches, 6 strikeouts for Atherton right now. Close to an immaculate inning.
See if Dale can break up that chance for the immaculate inning. You don't see it a ton in real life, but I know I could probably speak for you, Josh, but I do it all the time in MLB The Show, and it's great.
Oh, yeah.
It's so fun. Pitch to Dale, breaking ball over, so he's 7 for 7. He's got a shot here.
Is this the deepest you've seen an immaculate inning on the air?
No, I think I've seen it at least 8. You know, I might have even called one. Who knows? Just can't remember.
Now, one of the Cubs prospect last year was close to one.
Oh, 8 for 8.
Not this close.
A lot of pressure on Jared Dale here. And again, for those who aren't familiar with immaculate innings, I mean, it's not like this is some kind of crazy new baseball feat, but it's cool to see. 9 pitches, 9 strikes, 3 strikeouts. Now, it wouldn't be cool if it happened to the Aces here. But if Atherton on this pitch can strike out Jared Dale, he will have thrown an immaculate inning.
I know the closest I had seen to one is now this one, but before that, the last series, or second last series of 2021, one of the Cubs' top pitching prospects, DJ Hers, got 7 pitches into an immaculate inning. before one was fouled off.
0-2 pitch coming from Tim Atherton. Here it is. Dale fouls it off, and he spoils the chance at an immaculate inning. Now the harder one to get is the golden ball, which is 3 pitches, 3 outs.
That I think we saw.
The immaculate inning's tough too.
I think we saw golden ball. Yeah, McGrath definitely had one of those.
It was either that or 4 pitches, something like that.
I'm almost positive McGraw had a 3-pitch inning in that opening game against Geelong for him.
He was fantastic that day. Complete game, just 3 runs allowed. Dale fouls one back.
Still all strikes, but it will not be immaculate for Atherton.
Well, Atherton's been really good this season, now in his 3rd start. The ace is on the better end of the pitcher's duel right now. Two-strike pitch once again, and Dale, hanging tough, fouls one right back to the netting.
I like to see this from Dale. A bit slower start to his season on the offensive side. Comes with 2 hits last night. Leads off the game with a big single that turned into a run thanks to Jake Skoll. And Dale now really making life difficult for Tim Atherton.
Atherton's sweating a little bit out there on the hill. Here's his next pitch. Breaking ball. Dale sends it to left, but not deep enough. Easy play for Riley. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Atherton. He is not allowed to run over his last 4, but the Aces still lead 2-0. We are through 5. Aces looking to snap a 6-game losing streak here tonight. Top 6 next on Aces TV.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different than other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than special, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
If you're looking for a refreshing beverage here at Melbourne Ballpark, you can't go wrong with a Brick Lane Brew, the official beer partner of the Melbourne Aces. Brick Lane Brewing Company. Plenty of choices. You know, if you're one of those beer drinkers who likes to experiment, well, Brick Lane is the beer for you. And Josh raising your hand in the booth, I think we all can. But Brick Lane, you know, we know they do it right.
I know I got a couple Brick Lanes in my fridge waiting for me when I get home.
Absolutely. Hopefully after an Aces win. Aces lead at 2-0, top of the 6th inning. Mizuki Miura back to work. TJ Bennett, Logan Wade, Andrew Campbell, 3-4-5 for Brisbane.
We got our Light and Easy's pregame, Brick Lane's postgame. That's a combo right there.
A fantastic combo. You know, anytime we're getting fed and some drinks, you know, can't go wrong with that. Miura looked really good in a scoreless 5th. He allowed a 2-out double, but that was it. Pop out and 2 flyouts. 1-1, smacked on the ground. O'Neill stays down on it. Underhand flip to Miura covering. Easy 3-1 putout.
That's that catcher blocking ability that makes catchers so adept at moving to first base. And O'Neill, though he's played most of the season behind the plate, able to field the position at first as well. Really nice play for out number 1.
Yeah, just not a lot of experience over there. O'Neill had, in his pro career prior to joining the Aces, had played 2 innings at first base. And this is now his 4th game over there this season. He was doing some work pre-game, just fielding ground balls, you know, just the standard fundamental work that guys do every day. And for a guy who's normally behind the plate, you know, that's tough making the transition, even if you're just playing there 1 day a week. But Z and Moilo were working with him before the game, helping him with the footwork. Miuta hangs the leg. Fastball in the outer half misses just a little bit. Logan Wade walked in the first and flew out to right in the third. Next pitch, tap foul. Well, the Aces really like what they have in both Kyuta Kazama and Mizuki Miuta. Just guys that you know they're going to pitch back-to-back the same night and get you into the deeper innings of the game. And they're both such different pitchers that can really throw hitters off. Miuta more of a finesse guy. And that one looked really good, but he missed.
Always good when you have a nice 1-2 combination of pitchers that bring such different things to the table, and that's exactly the case. You have the speed and savvy, I guess, if you want to call these two, but two very different styles of pitching.
Another one tap foul. Mizuki Miuta more of the guy that's going to keep a hitter off balance. Kazama's the guy who, you know, you might be shaking in your boots up there if you see that 97-plus fastball. And that nasty curveball that he can drop on you, the slider.
I know I'm shaking my boots up here.
That one missed off the plate as well. So all of a sudden, Neil Medlin has tightened up the outside corner of that strike zone.
A really close pitch. That's those borderline ones that you want to have called your way when you're on the mound.
See what he comes with here. Chopper out to short. Glendinning has it. An easy throw over to first. That one took a weird hop on Robbie. High hop, and then it just scooted down on him real quick, but he handled it.
Yeah, just one of those late hops that can throw off a shortstop sometimes, but not a guy like Robbie Glendinning. He made that one look easy.
Well, that brings up Andrew Campbell. He's 0 for 2. And I mentioned last inning that the bottom 5 hitters in this Brisbane order hitless, and none have reached base. Kazama struck out 5. 4 of those strikeouts came from the 5 through 9 hitters. Miuta still looking for his first strikeout, but he's pitched really well to contact. A couple ground ball outs, 3 air outs. And it's one of those nights where you can live as a fly ball pitcher. Well, and as I say that, it's drilled down the right field line, and that ball ain't coming back. So, why do I say things like that? And my point being was that as Campbell hits the solo shot to bring Brisbane within 1, the point was that, the wind's not blowing out. So, fly balls aren't just going to carry out. But that one was just hit well.
Yeah, that one didn't really need a carry out. That was just a rocket off of Andrew Campbell's bat that cuts the lead in half, and this is the time where the Aces offense needs to respond. Because when a good offensive team like Brisbane starts hitting balls the way you're about to see Campbell knock the cover off this one, just barreled right up on it, pulled it down the right field line. That's when the Aces need to respond with some big runs of their own.
So with 2 down to the base is empty, and the Aces holding just a 1-run lead. Now here's Dai Kang Yang. He takes a strike on the outer half. Miuta working a little bit slower than Kazama. Next pitch is fouled off as well. Well, that was really maybe only the 3rd hard-hit ball of the night for the Bandits, Josh. Andrew Campbell's home run being the hardest one that was hit, and that's the one we're talking about. But you got the double from Moore, the double from Tolbert. Not a lot of other balls that were scalded on the night.
No, I mean, just a testament to how good Miuta and Kazama have been. Just really limiting hard contact and getting strikeouts and getting big outs when they've needed to.
Looking for the inning ender, and he gets it right there. First strikeout of the night for Miyazuki Miuta. Ramped up on the fastball up in the zone, and the inning is over. 1 run on the solo home run from Andrew Campbell. No errors, no one left on. 2-1 Aces through 5.5. Bottom 6 next on the Aces TV network.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more in customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
The Bandits get one back in the top of the 6th. Andrew Campbell, a 2-out solo home run over the right field wall off Mizuki Miuta. But the Aces pitching overall tonight has been excellent. Kazama the first four shutout innings, and then Miuta 2 innings of 1-run ball so far. Had an inning and 2/3 scoreless before the home run from Campbell. But now the Aces with some more work to do as they've seen their 2-run lead trimmed to 1. And it's Aaron Whitefield, Robbie Glendinning, and Jake Skoll, 2, 3, 4. And Skoll, the hottest hitter on the team right now. Whitefield and Glendinning, 2 of the best overall players on the team. We know what they can do with the bats. And a great night at the ballpark. Look at that sunset, Josh, off in the distance. It looks fake.
Yeah, it is not fake, I can assure you that. There have been some just beautiful baseball skies when the weather's been nice here in Melbourne.
Hashtag baseball sky.
Exactly.
First pitch from Atherton to Whitefield is up and away, 1-0. Atherton back out there. He's been really good since that first. I mean, really, on his night, just the one pitch that he'd like back.
Yeah, and also just the need for Brisbane to stretch out their starter as much as they can. We talked about them using pretty much all their main relievers.
That's a great point, yeah. They used 5 relievers in the 11-inning game on Thursday, 4 last night. And the 4 they used last night all pitched on Thursday as well. Whitefield, little dribbler off the end of the bat to his buddy Glendinning in the on-deck circle.
He found his pitch just a little bit early on it. Didn't get enough of it.
Atherton at 71 pitches, 51 of them for strikes. He's been really efficient and effective. Since the Skoll homer in the first, the Aces have just 1 hit. Matt O'Neill's single as Whitefield sends one deep down the right field line. That one's off the base of the wall. Whitefield makes a turnaround first. He's digging for second. It's a 2-bagger with swagger for Aaron Whitefield, and the Aces have the leadoff man on in the 6th.
That's the kind of thing you've come to expect from Aaron Whitefield. He thought that was gone. Some opposite field power from Whitefield. It hits off the base of the wall, and you see him laughing with Hayden Willis, just like, oh, yep, I thought that was out of here.
Yeah, you've seen him crack the smile there. And he's a guy who has so much fun on the field.
Yeah.
You know, he always has a smile on his face. Great guy to talk to. So approachable. He'll chat with anybody. The umpires. You know, he knows pretty much everybody on the opposing rosters in this league. I mean, he's played now for 3 of the 8 teams, and just from playing with guys growing up, the national team, he knows everybody. Always during BP going over, dapping up guys on the other side. Chilling, having fun with his own teammates. Glendinning sprays one to the right side into right field. Here comes Whitefield. Glendinning stops at first. It's an RBI single for Robbie Glendinning, and the Aces add an insurance run. Back-to-back hits here in the 6th.
I think they heard our keys to the game, Mike. This is exactly what Melbourne needed. Give up a run, you get one right back within the first 5 pitches of the next inning. Still no outs. Glendinning and Whitefield delivering for Melbourne.
And we've been waiting all series, and now this is only game 3 of the series, but we're waiting for that Whitefield-Glendinning 2-3 combo to get going, and specifically for them to do damage back-to-back in the same inning. And there it was. The Whitefield doubles off the wall and right. Glendinning, staying with the same approach, goes to the opposite field, shoots one through the hole between first and second. Easy run for the Aces. Still no outs. Here's Skoll. Skoll's going to be a big piece of this Aces lineup moving forward. Can you imagine what this lineup's going to look like once Darryl George and Chris Burke are back in it?
Yeah, that's going to be scary. It's already a pretty stacked lineup, but that middle of the order with George and Skoll possibly batting back to back. I mean, I could see a 3-4-5 of Glendinning, Skoll, and George. Or, I mean, you can move those guys around anywhere in that order you want. And then, you drop J.D. Osborne to 6, Robson to 2 or 7. I mean, so many options for Peter Moylan once this roster gets fully healthy.
Big cut from Skoll. It's 2-1. Yeah, and that's what you look for, is options. When you're filling out the lineup card, it's a good problem to have. How am I going to get this guy in the lineup? Or, I got this guy hitting 6th. It's like, he's a beast. But, when the lineup's that deep, you're going to have those issues, and they're good issues to have. Short lead for Glendinning at first. Skoll takes a breaking ball. It's wide, 2-1. 3-1 now.
And that's why I think this team is so calm. Obviously a 6-game losing streak doesn't feel good, but they know that there are guys missing. They know that they're playing, the same guys are playing all 9 innings day in and day out. And once this full team comes back, the ABL has to be put on notice.
Skoll works the count full. It's 3-2. You figure once Darryl George comes back, he may get some reps as the designated hitter to start off, coming back from the oblique injury. Probably want to limit his time in the field, and his bat is what the Aces are looking for. But Moylo will definitely have some options. Skoll waves at the 3-2 and sends it out of play, foul. I really can't get over these sunsets here in Australia, Josh. We don't have sunsets like this back in the States.
Yeah, it's just absolutely breathtaking.
It's like an orange tangerine mango color off in the distance.
If it could shift the orangey sky just a little bit more towards center field, though, it would be perfect.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Right now, it's just out of the corner of our eyes in the booth here.
3-2 to Skoll. Hammers a breaking ball, but he was way ahead of that one, and it goes way foul.
Yeah, this guy just has ridiculous pop.
All right, where's his next homer going? Left center, right center, or straightaway right?
I'm going right center. I'm going right center.
I think he has to go to the right side of the diamond so we can get a better shot of that sunset. You know what I'm saying?
Got to hit one into the orange.
3-2 pitch. Skoll sends another one on a line into left center. It's down for a hit. 3 straight hits for the Aces. Double, single, single. And the line keeps moving with no outs. Here's J.D. Osborne.
And Skoll again. Really good pop. A hard line drive up the middle. Halfway to his cycle. 2 hits in 2 of his 3 games here in Melbourne.
Well, the home plate umpire, Neil Medlin, out to the mound to break up the convo between the Bandits' battery. Atherton up over 80 pitches now, 81 to be exact, 58 strikes. So here's Osborne, who is hitless tonight. Lined out to right and then flew out to right. Average dipping closer to 200 for Osborne. He wants it to head back in the other direction. He has been one of the most productive Aces hitters this year, however, but scuffling over the last few. Got to give JD a lot of credit for the work he's done with Kyuta Kazama and Mizuki Miuta. The last 3 times he's been behind the plate, he has caught those 2. Pitch misses low and away. And Josh, you can tell that Atherton is tiring a little bit. This is his 3rd time through the order now, and the Aces have 3 straight hits from the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Guy's getting a lot better cuts on him this time around.
And there is a right-hander warming up in the bullpen. It looks like it's Carter Hope getting loose.
It would be Hope's 3rd outing of the series. You know, there are guys out there who can pitch 3 days in a row, but the modern baseball model for relievers is you don't want to throw a guy 3 days in a row unless you really have to. And this might be a case of the Bandits needing to. Glendinning at second. He drove home Whitefield, who doubled to start the inning. Skoll over at first. He's reached safely in all 3 of his trips to the plate. Osborne, a big cut on 2-0. He comes up empty. And I just mentioned the 3rd time through the order thing. And in the United States, at least at the lower levels, specifically with younger pitchers, even at the major league level for younger pitchers, most organizations nowadays don't want their guys going a 3rd time through the batting order. At least they don't want their starters facing the order a 3rd time. Fly ball right center field. Tolbert ranges way over in right field to make the grab. I mean, he was basically over where Yang was playing, but Yang let him take it.
And going off to what you were saying about the starter facing the order 3 times, it's the reason behind, in my opinion, one of the biggest pitching mistakes in baseball history. 2020 World Series, Blake Snell was having the game of his life for the Tampa Bay Rays in the 6th inning with no runs allowed. I think he had like 1 or 2 hits given up, maybe a walk. He was pulled, and the Dodgers ended up coming back and winning that game because they teed off the Rays bullpen. And I think there's some truth to not wanting to see the hitters again. I think in this particular case, the 3rd time around the order is looking to be a bit worse, but, you know, Atherton was having an all right game. He wasn't having a 1 or 2 hit shutout like Snell was in that World Series. So there's some benefits and some drawbacks, but I don't think it's something to look too deep into.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with the 3rd time through the order thing, you have to walk the fine line of, is this guy tiring in facing the order for the 3rd time, or is he cruising and facing the order for a 3rd time? Now, in this case, Atherton seems to be tiring. 0-1, tap foul.
And you can just see it in his body language. He's taking a bit more time between pitches. Now a slower walk back to the mound. He's not going straight to it. He's taking the kind of roundabout route. And when he was moving a lot quicker at the beginning of the game. So these are the kind of signs that you want to look for and you want to take advantage of when you're the Aces. And Robson's got himself up in a good spot here.
Now, the advanced numbers will tell you that pitcher is less effective that 3rd time through the order versus the 1st and 2nd time because the hitter just gets to see you more. 0-2 to Robson, swing and a miss. Nasty breaking ball there for the 2nd out. But again, you know, that doesn't apply to all pitchers. You know, you've got guys in the big leagues, you know, Jacob deGrom, Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer. I mean, those are guys who that doesn't apply. You know, those are unicorns.
Those are guys on another level of humanity almost when it comes to pitching.
So it doesn't apply to, you know, certain pitchers. But then again, we've talked about, it's mainly younger pitchers or pitchers who are working their way back from an injury, a pitcher who hasn't built up the stamina yet, things like that. Now, Atherton, of course, a veteran.
Yeah. Speaking of DeGrom, though, how about that deal with the Rangers?
A lot of money. $185 over 5 years, a chance to, with a 6-year option for it to be $222 million. I love MLB free agency and the hot stove offseason stuff, trades, signings. It's so fun to follow. And this year, the hot stove's heating up a lot quicker than in previous years.
I think it's because the free agency class is so stacked.
Got to get your man when you can, and a lot of teams going after them earlier. You know, it was a waiting game a couple years ago with Harper and Machado and guys like that. 1-0 pitch, O'Neill takes outside. Well, we've already seen DeGrom sign for big money. You know, your boy Anthony Rizzo back with the Yankees, a couple-year deal. Let's see who else. A couple other big names are already off the board. Clayton Kershaw re-upped with the Dodgers.
Surprising no one.
There's another big name that I'm missing. The Jose Abreu to the defending champion Astros. From
That was
White
a big
Sox.
shock.
Yeah. Big addition. I mean, he's going to hit 5th or 6th for the defending champs, and he's an MVP candidate. The guy who's won an MVP. O'Neill fouls one back.
The rich get richer.
You got a lot of big-name free agent shortstops. There's a quartet of free agent shortstops on the market. Trey Turner, Dansby Swanson, Carlos Correa, and Xander Bogaerts. They're all going to get big money. Aaron Judge. You know, between those 5, I mean, everybody in the baseball world watching to see where those 5 go. And I know you're hoping that Judge is back in pinstripes.
I think that's better for baseball, having a homegrown guy like that stay with your team.
I mean, there's no reason he should leave.
No.
1-2 outside. I mean, the money's going to be there either way. It's just about it's really about whether he wants to stay in New York or go somewhere else.
Yeah. Yankees already offered 8 years and $300 million. So I mean, yeah, we'll see if teams top that and force the Yankees to top it. But it seems like the Yankees are going to top any bid that's going to be made for them.
$300 million sounds pretty nice. O'Neill takes inside and the count runs full. I asked our GM, Justin Huber, earlier today if I could get one of those DeGrom deals after the news broke.
I'm sure he loved that.
He didn't say no, but I didn't get a hard yes either. I told him I'm willing to add more years onto the deal to lessen the luxury tax hit on the Aces.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm willing to be flexible here.
Well, in that case, I'm going to have to find Justin after the game. Work me out a deal like that.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The runners will be off on the pitch. Aces up 2, a chance to extend the lead. Pitch to O'Neill, swing and a miss. He slams the bat in frustration, and the inning is over. So Atherton grinds through the 6th, but the Aces get 3 more. Whitefield doubles, Glendinning singles him home, and Skoll adds another single. 3-1 Aces after 6 full. Top of the 7th after this. Josh taking back over on the play-by-play on Aces TV.
Top of the 6th inning. Aces get their 2-run lead back. 3 runs on 6 for Melbourne, a run on 4 for the Bandits. The Aces have been leading the entire way, thanks to great pitching and some good hitting from the middle of the order. Aaron Whitefield and Robbie Glendinning combining for 1 in the 6th, and Jacob Skoll's 2-run homer in the 1st. made it 3-1. Mizuki Miura back out on the mound, facing 7, 8, and 9 for the Bandits. Donald Lutz leading things off, a 1-0 count to him. He had a nice game last night, but he's 0 for 2 tonight. A solo shot in the 4th inning, or a 2-run shot in the 4th inning, that gave Brisbane the lead for good late. This one is lofted high into the air, foul territory down the right field line, and O'Neill makes the grab for out number 1. Hard one to see as that one went into the corner, right in front of the netting by the All-Star bar, but an easy play for Matt O'Neill for the first out of the inning. Now Will Riley will come up, 0 for 2, making his series debut. Utility guy for Brisbane, be able to play both the infield and the outfield. Slotting in for Jake Trowbridge at left tonight. Called first strike. Riley struck out on 3 pitches in the second and popped out to the pitcher. He was the first batter that Mizuki Miura faced in the 5th. And now he once again faces an 0-2 count. That was the count that Kazama struck him out on back in the 2nd inning. Miura rocks and fires. Outside, right where Osborne was set up. And a count now 1-2. Miura deals. Excuse me, check swing right back to the mound. Miura turns and fires for out number 2. Fielding his position once again. A pop-up to the pitcher, and now a ground out to the pitcher in Riley's 2 at-bats against Mizuki Miura. 2 gone now in the top of the 7th. And that brings up Darian Miller. Miller 0 for 2 with a strikeout. He has played all 3 games in this series with just 2 hits. Both of them, though, went for extra bases. Another Brewers prospect, a catcher in Milwaukee's system, as the left-on-left matchup results in a called first strike. Miller, though, flied out to right, also struck out to end the 2nd inning. And now Miura deals. 0-1, a breaking ball that misses outside, count 1-1. Miller, 244 hitter on the season. Out of Scottsdale, Arizona, in his first year in the ABL. Miura, the 1-1. Fastball high, but it misses 2-1. Slugging percentage just over 400, on base percentage just under 400. With a home run and 5 RBIs. 10 hits on the season. 5 of them have gone for extra bases. That ball is cracked into right field, but high in the air for Skoll. He'll camp and catch it to finish off the 1-2-3 inning. Miura has retired 4 straight since the home run. And now we're going to stretch it out. And while you guys stretch here in the 7th, we're going to give you a nice quick word from some of our sponsors.
If you're an Aces fan, now's the time to stand up.
For over 45 years, Hobson's Bay Dental has delivered the best results through continually updating their skills and technology. Dr. Andrews and his team also take great pride in treating patients like family. Melbourne Aces players trust their teeth to Hobson's Bay Dental, and you should too. Business Network International is flourishing across Melbourne's West and Geelong. Local businesses, including the Aces, join BNI for professional development, networking opportunities, and to increase your business prospects. Find your local BNI chapter to tap a wealth of resources and join a winning team. New Era Technology provides specialized IT solutions for your business around the internet and voice communications, managed services, as well as secure cloud hosting for data and software. Trusted by the Aces, New Era has an extensive team of engineers and sales professionals who provide hands-on collaboration that is backed by deep industry training. The crowd is rocking here at Melbourne Ballpark, and a big part of that is because of the Aces' 2-run lead. Aces fans loving the lead for Melbourne, and it's enough to chase Tim Atherton out of the starting roster, or the pitching roster. The punt 1-2-3 pitching change brings in Jeremy Atkinson, a guy who was initially scheduled to start this matchup. Atkinson comes in for Tim Atherton, who pitched the first 6 frames. Atherton in line for the loss, 6 hits in 6 innings, 3 earned runs, a walk, 6 strikeouts, and the big hit was that 2-run shot by Jacob Skoll in the first inning. For Atkinson on the season, this is his 3rd year in the ABL, played in 2010 with Brisbane, came back in Sydney in 2020, and now getting his 7th appearance of the 2022 ABL season with the Brisbane Bandits. 13 innings, 11 hits allowed, 6 runs, 5 earned, 4 walks, and 13 strikeouts in those 6 appearances. Josh Sperber, Michael Mark Antonini here as George Khalil swings at the first pitch of the 7th for strike 1. Khalil 0 for 2 on the night. As Atkinson has a bit of a sidearm style delivery. 3/4 arm slot. Not completely overhand, but not completely sidearm either. Try and throw off particularly those right-handed hitters. A 32-year-old righty from Brisbane deals. Pop back by Khalil, count 1-2. Big crowd on hand for the Aces tonight.
Well, the crowd was bumping in between the inning here. I mean, everybody's fired up. You know, Aces are winning, great vibes. Everybody's having fun, and that's what you love to see.
The 1-2. Called strike 3. Breaking ball settles over the heart of the plate, and the first batter Atkinson sees is gone on strikes. 1 away to bring up Jared Cruz, who's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts.
Big inning for the Aces here to see if they can extend the lead even more. Now that insurance run that Glendinning and Whitefield helped produce in the last inning was huge, because a 2-run lead is a lot better than a 1-run lead, especially when you've lost 6 in a row. Just having that extra breathing room is huge, but a couple more would be nice too.
First pitch to Cruz, misses upstairs and in, 1-0 count. And this is where the bullpens come in. This is the first new arm we've seen, as we've seen a repeat of Brisbane relievers as Cruz fouls that back to even the count. But Atkinson, a guy that the Aces have not seen yet, and the Aces, their bullpen has really been arguably the greatest strength of their team so far this season.
No doubt. And, you know, this is a chance to see some new guys and wear them out.
And Cruz, a 1-1 count. One of the longest tenured Aces in his 9th season with the club. As we get some new balls out to the pitcher's mound. Sixth all-time in games played entering this season. Swings and misses there at strike 2. Tied for 9th in total bases. Now he is the sole possession of 9th. After a couple hits already this season. And at 10th in RBI with 49. One-two. Popped in the air. Foul down the first baseline towards the fence and into the netting over the All-Star bar. So Cruz staying alive. This season, Cruz in his 8th game. 4 for 24 now with his 2 strikeouts tonight. One-two. Did he go? Appeal to first base. Tom West says he did. So 2 straight strikeouts to begin the night for Tim Atkinson.
Well, this Brisbane bullpen, it's just one pitcher after another that comes in, shows you a different arm angle, tough to hit, and bottom of the Aces order. Tough scene here early on in the 7th, and it's tough seeing you see first couple at bats against the starter, and then you got to see a new arm. It's tough to adjust on the fly.
Well, Dale's strategy is to attack the new arm, but he chops that foul. 3 hits in his last 2 games, including a leadoff single tonight. Another Aces youth product, been playing for Melbourne since he was 16 in his 5th year with the team, as the breaking ball misses outside, 1-1. The guy currently in the Padres system. Got as high as AAA El Paso this year, but spent most of the season in the Midwest League in High A with Fort Wayne. Cracked out into left center field, and that's going to fall into the gap for extra bases. 2 hops and it hits the wall. Jared Dale sprinting towards second base, where he'll pull up with a 2-out double. Back-to-back games with 2 knocks for Jared Dale, and a big double to extend the inning here.
That's great to see from Jared. Hard hit ball. Got a pitch that he was able to turn on. And anytime you square a ball up like that and you see it fly into the gap, that feels really good.
Jared Dale, a guy who hit just under 200 at High A and AAA combined. Really starting something here in his 5th ABL season. And now the former 2-time Helms Award winner in Aaron Whitefield is coming at the plate to try and drive him in. He swings and misses a slider, count 0-1.
Another run would be great. I mean, that's what the Bandits were able to do the last couple nights. They weren't scoring in bunches, but they were able to extend, 1 here, 2 there to keep things going.
0-1 to Whitefield. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Poorly timed train horn.
Yeah, come on, have some feel. You know what I'm saying? Read the room.
Conductor's got to be able to see that. I mean, is what it is. Whitefield 1 for 3, doubled and scored his last time up, but now faces an 0-2. Swing and a miss. There's strike 3. And with a double in the 7th, but Jeremy Atkinson gets the side down swinging. 7 innings gone here at Melbourne Ballpark. 7 hits for the Aces, 3 runs to the Bandits 1. We'll head to the 8th as the Aces try to hold their lead.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
We're through 7 innings here at Melbourne Ballpark. The fans have the place rocking, and the Aces have control of this ball game. 3-1 is the score. And the Bandits will bring the top of their order to face Mizuki Miura once again out for his 4th inning of work.
He's done a great job in relief. And, he knows his role, able to eat up those middle to late innings. And he's keeping hitters off balance again.
First pitch to Tyler Tolbert, misses inside, ball one. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Double, a single, and a stolen base for the Kansas City Royals prospect. The pitch. Called strike on the outside corner, count 1-1. Won a championship for being called up late in the 2021 season to the Quad Cities River Bandits. They won then the High A Central Championship, now the Midwest League. 1-1. Upstairs, 2-0. 2-1. And it's something we've talked about, just a lot of guys on that team made it right up to the majors. Michael Garcia had some time. Nick Lofton. Vinny Pasquantino, as that's fouled off the bat of Tolbert to make it 2-2. Michael Massey, another guy from that team that has already made an impact for the Major League Kansas City Royals.
Yeah, the Royals had that one series where the team was headed to Toronto, and because of the vaccination status rules, there were like 8 or 9 Royals that couldn't make the trip, so they just calling up like half a roster from the minor leagues that week.
2-2. Just missed upstairs, and the count runs full to Tolbert. He's certainly hoping to get his major league call sometime soon, moving slowly up the minor league ladder.
The Royals do a good job developing homegrown talent. We saw with the pennant winning team in 2014, the World Series winning team in 2015.
Payoff pitch. Again, same spot that Miura missed. And he issues his first walk of the ball game. So for the third time tonight, Tyler Tolbert has reached base. And he's got a dangerous set of legs on first.
Well, that insurance run proving to be so much more important, especially now with the leadoff man reaching in the 8th with the top of the lineup to up. This is the most important player, up to bat in the game right now with Robert Moore. If Miura can get an out, even a double play, fantastic. If he reaches, then things get a little dicey.
A tying run at the plate in form of Moore, who's 1 for 3 with a double tonight. A man getting loose for Melbourne as a lazy move to first from Miura keeps the runner on. Looks like Evan Rutsky's getting loose, getting set to close things out for Melbourne. Another lefty in the pen, and he has been lights out this season. Another quick move back to first base. Barely sliding in ahead of the tag is Tyler Tolbert. Miura certainly keeping eyes on him, a guy who already has a stolen base in tonight's game.
And Tolbert probably staying put, knowing that his run doesn't mean a whole lot if the Bandits don't get somebody on behind him.
First pitch of the game is a pitch out, and a snap throw not made as Tolbert was back in time. 1-0 the count.
But of course, he can still shake things up by just being on first base, knowing, at least for Osborne, the catcher, and O'Neill, the first baseman, Miura on the mound, that they got to keep him close.
6 stolen bases on 7 attempts for Tyler Tolbert, among the league leaders, with that 6th coming here tonight. He almost goes off with a breaking ball, settles in the inside corner, 1-1. A nasty pitch coming in on the right-hander from Miura.
JD's going to go out for a chat, and team translator will head out as well. JD does a good job of just keeping guys settled down, giving them a breather when they really need it.
And this will probably be a pretty quick chat. I mean, Miura's pitched really well so far. Only run allowed was on that home run by Andrew Campbell back in the 6th inning. But Miura, so far, 48 pitches, 28 for strikes. Strikeout numbers haven't been eye-popping, just 1 so far, but he's more of a pitch-to-contact guy anyway. Shows the difference between him and Kasama. They complement each other really well.
How about a 6-4-3 right here?
1-1. Check swing, no appeal. It's going to be ball 2.
He's getting squeezed a little bit here in the later innings. Biggest spot of the game right now, though, with the top guys in the order for Brisbane, and runner already on. The Aces, the bats haven't been destroying the ball tonight, so keeping it at 2-run game's huge.
Off goes Tolbert, and it's fouled off. So Tolbert will return to first base, and it's a 2-2 count to Robert Moore.
The Brisbane bats have been quiet tonight, so a hit and run could be the way to shake things up, get those Aces infielders moving. Now with the right-handed batter at the plate, George Khalil, the second baseman, will be the one covering second. And if they're confident in Moore shooting one the other way, then all of a sudden it's going to be second and third and no out. So we'll see if Tolbert runs again.
Moore just 20 years old. Another 2022 draft pick from the Brewers here as he pops this one up, foul down the first base line. Almost caught by a fan in front of the party deck. That would have been a highlight play, but ends up in the arms of a kid. You love to see that.
Yeah, that party deck is packed, though, again. I mean, fans get their money's worth out of that party deck. Everybody always having a great time up there.
Oh, don't get me wrong. That's definitely a place I'd want to watch a game, but how can you move? There's just so many people over there. Look at melbourneaces.com.au/tickets to book your tickets to that party deck if you're interested. 2-2. Off goes Tolbert again. Hit on the ground to short. Easy play for Glenn Dinning. Fires to first for the first out of the inning. So the hit and run, mildly successful. A productive out for Robert Moore. And the tying run will now be in the form of T.J. Bennett, the home run leader, who's 8 away from being the ABL all-time single-season home run king.
Tolbert running there kept the Bandits out of the double play. That's big.
Yeah, that was your 6-4-3 if Tolbert wasn't running on the pitch for sure.
Yeah, Miuta is a guy who can induce those double play balls really any time a runner's on, because he keeps the ball low in the zone, keeps guys off balance, you get guys out on that front foot, and they just beat the ball into the dirt.
If you're a pitch-to-contact guy, that's what you look for, and to beat that, you go hit and run. That's what Dave Nielsen, an Australian baseball legend, did right there. Popped up down the third base line and foul. Count 0-1 to T.J. Bennett. He walked in the first, so he's reached in every game of this series. 2 hits on Thursday, 2 home runs yesterday, a walk, a strikeout, and a ground out tonight. Oh, 1 to Bennett. Tolbert takes a short lead off second. The pitch. Just missing outside on the breaking ball, evens the count at 1-1. The home run record is held since 2015. $16 home runs. As that is the number Bennett is chasing. Doesn't chase that pitch, in there for a called strike. Kellen Deglin, the holder of that record, former teammate of Jacob Skoll, actually. Played a couple of years in the Rangers minor league system together. He was also a first-round pick in the 2010 draft, 22nd pick of the Rangers. But now Bennett will not get a chance to chase that here. He chases a low breaking ball, and Miuta gets him on an ugly swing. 2 away.
Big strikeout right there, going low and away. That's where you want to go. And now just looking for that final out.
2 away here in the 8th. A runner in scoring position, and the tying run shifts to Logan Wade. And other than Andrew Campbell's homer, the middle of the Brisbane order, which has really hurt the Aces this series, has been held in check. Tolbert has 3 of the team's 4 hits. The other one is Campbell's homer. 2 of the team's 4 hits. Moore has a double. Campbell has the home run. But Logan Wade and Bennett have only reached base via the walk. 2 Ks for Bennett, 1 from each pitcher. And Logan Wade, a walk, but is 0 for 2 since that first inning free pass as he takes the first pitch low for ball 1. Wade has them popping his bat at the shortstop position. A Brisbane native, has been with the Bandits since 2012. 10th year in Brisbane. Career .270 hitter with 34 homers. Only one of them has come this season. Hasn't hit multiple homers since 2019 with the Bandits. A homer would tie it. Miuta trying to end the inning. 1-0 to Wade. Tolbert leads off a second. No one holding him on there. The 1-0. Off goes Tolbert to third, and there's no one covering the bag, so he'll sneak in with his second stolen base of the night. Pitch in for a strike, so it's 1-1. Tyler Tolbert with swipe number 7 of the season.
And that still doesn't mean a whole lot. Now, he took the base because the Aces basically gave it to him. Took advantage of Dale playing back and just Miuta focusing more on the batter and slow delivery of the plate. But sure, it helps to get another run 90 feet away as opposed to out at second. But tying run's still at the plate whether he's on second or third.
And it really doesn't change all that much. A single would score him from second anyway with his speed. And Miuta hoping to make that steal irrelevant, but misses upstairs there, 2-1. Obviously, a 2-out steal this late in the game. First to second is a bit more meaningful.
Absolutely.
But a steal of third does not change all that much, especially if Miuta can get this out here. 2-1 on Wade, who's already been retired twice today. 2 outs, 3-1 the lead for Melbourne here in the top of the 8th inning. The latest they've held a lead against Brisbane this series. The pitch. Called strike on the outside corner. The fastball evens the count to 2-2. Miuta a strike away from getting out of this inning.
This is exactly what the Aces have been looking for. 4 from Kazama. Assuming that Miuta is able to get this last out, 4 from him. And you turn it over to your closer in the 9th if things hold out.
And that closer looks like it would be another left-handed reliever in Evan Rutsky.
I mean, if you're trying to script a game, that's exactly what they would have scripted for today.
2-2. Hit on the ground to short. Easy play for Glenn Dinning. He'll send it across the diamond to end the inning. So the stolen base goes for naught as the Bandits strand a runner on third after a leadoff walk. Mizuki Miuta in line for the victory. The Aces have the bottom of the 8th to add some insurance runs. They lead 3-1 here at Melbourne Ballpark.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Shortstop, Robbie Glendenning.
Robbie Glendenning swings at the first pitch. I think I forgot what inning it was. But now I know it's the bottom of the 8th inning. 0-1 count to Glendenning and a 3-1 lead for Melbourne.
It happens, you know. It's all good. That's why I'm keeping you in line up here.
Appreciate that.
That's why there's 2 of us.
0-1. That's hit into the gap in left center field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Glendenning's going to turn around first, but pull back. And the 8th hit of the game is a leadoff single. Second straight inning where Melbourne's put the leadoff man on. And Robbie Glendenning has base knocks in 2 consecutive at-bats.
Nice to see Robbie get a couple hits tonight after 2 quiet nights at the plate. And that was a slow-hanging breaking ball. That was too easy for one of the best hitters this league's seen over the last half-decade.
And Jacob Scholl's already looking like one of the best hitters the league's going to see this season. He's up at the plate right now with a chance to nullify a save situation for likely Evan Rutsky. First pitch fouled back, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, I don't think Evan would mind if he had a little more breathing room and didn't have a save chance.
Stat schmats. I think the Aces at this point just want to get the win, and Jacob Scholl has played a big part of that. (0-1) to Scholl, who's 2 for 2 on the day. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Fishes at a low breaking ball from Jeremy Atkinson. A 2-run homer for Scholl is the difference. That was in the first inning. A walk and a single in his next 2 at-bats, working into full counts in each of his last 2 plate appearances as he takes the first miss outside for ball 1. A 5-tool threat for the former Rangers first-round pick. 1-2. Hammered down the right field line. That's in there for extra bases. Glendenning goes to third as Jacob Scholl's going to run towards second. The runners both move into scoring position as Jacob Scholl is now a triple away from the cycle. A homer, a double, and a single for the Aces' newest addition, and there's 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out.
Well, let's hope he doesn't get a chance to hit for the cycle. Let's hope that's his last AB. But this dude continues to crush the baseball. He continues to barrel up every pitch that's thrown to him. Take a look at the All-Star Access Higher replay here. Really short stroke right there, taking it to the pull side, and he knew it was a double off the bat.
Hear me out. The Aces could bat around this inning, and then Scholl can get his chance at the triple.
Okay, all right. See, that I could sign up for.
Infield pushed in for J.D. Osborne with 2 runners in scoring position. Glendenning's on third, Scholl's on second, and Atkinson fires home. Fouled back, 0-1. Aces could certainly use a big inning, but they have a nice line tonight. 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the second straight game. So a good all-around performance from Melbourne. This could be that one of those complete games that we're looking for. Great pitching. The bats have been solid as well. 0-1's fouled back, 0-2. Osborne, though, 3 flyouts, so he's 0 for 3. But he's no stranger to late-game RBIs.
No, he's not.
Yeah, leads the team with 13. And he's in a big spot here. 3-1 Aces, 0-2 the count. Atkinson deals. Outside on the slider, 1-2.
Yeah, this is a test for the Aces. You got second, third, no outs. To be able to bring both these runners home would be huge for a team that's really been struggling with runners in scoring position.
1-2 pitch. Outside again, 2-2. Osborne in double and triple A with the Marlins in each of the last 2 seasons. Won a ring in Pensacola with the Blue Wahoos in this past minor league season. Looking for another one here in his first ABL campaign. Here's the 2-2. Sliced foul, and we'll do it again. Osborne battling. A career .259 hitter in 4 minor league seasons, all with the Marlins organization, where he was picked in the 22nd round of the 2017 draft out of the University of Tampa. 2-2, cut on a miss, strike 3. And there's the first down of the inning.
I wonder if the Bandits will walk Robson here to set up the double play. Yep, they've already decided to do that. Yep. It makes sense. You get the righty-righty matchup with O'Neill. And down 2 runs, it's easier to cut off the run when you have the force at home than versus second and third. So that makes a lot of sense. And O'Neill's been a guy who's been able to produce. He brought home the tying run with 2 outs in that extra inning game on Thursday. A little bit easier of a situation. The team's ahead, 1 out versus 2 outs. See if he gets a pitch he can drive.
So Robson on first with the intentional walk to bring up Matt O'Neill, who has a grand slam already this season, second on the Aces team with 12 ribbies. He swings the first pitch, a breaking ball way outside, and it's 0-1.
He's got that frisbee slider that Osborne chased and now O'Neill chased.
1 gone in the 8th. 0-1 on O'Neill, who's 1 for 3 today. The pitch. Popped high in the air into shallow left field. The shortstop Wade under it, and he cedes to the left fielder Riley. No throw home as Glendinning pulls back quickly. Second out in the frame to bring up George Khalil.
Yeah, that hurts now with 2 outs. The Brisbane defense can relax a little bit, and it's up to George.
Infield moving back into their normal position for the right-hander. Khalil struck out twice in an 0 for 3 night. Bases loaded for Melbourne. You know they want to just move those runners across, something that we've talked about all series long that the Aces really needed to improve on.
And they very well could win this game 3-1, and it may not matter that they leave these runners out here, but you would hate to see bases loaded, or runners at second and third, no outs, and bases loaded, 1 out, and them not to get any of these runners home.
But still, the lead is important, and you certainly trust your bullpen with Evan Rutsky warming up. Only ghost runners have scored on Rutsky this season. 0-1 count to Khalil. Atkinson kicks and fires. Holds up his swing, but it's a called strike anyway, 0-2. Apanese on the outside corner, says Neil Medlin. Atkinson a strike away from getting out of this bases-loaded jam. Clear as day on that All-Star Access IR replay. Bases loaded, 2 outs, the 0-2. Khalil holds up, appeal to first, no go, says Tom West, and the inning will continue. The Bandits don't love it. Aces fans do, though. Aces lead 3-1 as we take another look at the pitch here on the replay. Certainly didn't look like he went from there. Wrist stayed back. Pitch was definitely low. It's a 1-2 count. Now the umpires will convene in between first base and the pitcher's mound. Tom West, Casey Cook, and Neil Medlin, first, third, and home, are talking over that called ball 1. While they do that, we'll look at the ABL scores on this Saturday night. Still 1-2. Well, we'll give you the scores anyway. Doubleheader between Adelaide and Sydney. Game 1 ended with a 4-0 Adelaide victory. Canberra took down Geelong 4-1. That's popped high in the air. Shallow right field. Robert Moore eases under it and makes the grab to end the inning. The Aces leave them loaded in the bottom of the 8th, but they've got a chance to close things out as we head towards the 9th inning. 3-1 the score. Evan Rutsky is expected to close this game out for Melbourne. They're looking to end the streak. Michael Mark Antonini will tell you if they do next here on Aces TV.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South. We have qualified horticulturalists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section is stocked with a full range of quality options. All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping. All-Star Access Hire are your access equipment specialists. We have an extensive range of state-of-the-art equipment, and we pride ourselves on delivering outstanding customer service. We have the youngest fleet of equipment in Victoria, and we are consistently adding new machines. We get to know our customers and form partnerships with them. This video is of our partnership with the Victorian Government at Reservoir Station. All-Star Access Hire are proud sponsors of the Melbourne Aces and our All-Star Bar.
Aces lead at 3-1, top of the ninth inning from Melbourne Ballpark. Michael Marcantonini and Josh Sperber bringing you the action on Aces TV. Appreciate everyone tuned in tonight. Well, this is something that the Aces haven't been able to say in a while. They've got a chance to close this one out and put one in the win column here if Evan Rutsky can get the job done in the ninth. Andrew Campbell, Dai Kang Yang, and Donald Lutz. 5, 6, 7 due up for the Bandits as Evan Rutsky takes over on the mound. We've got a punt 1-2-3 pitching change. The Aces bring on their veteran closer after Kyuta Kazama worked 4 shutout innings, starting his third game of the season. Mizuki Miura, 4 innings of 1-run ball in relief. He's in line for the win right now. And now Rutsky, who's making his team-leading 7th appearance of the season. Rutsky last pitched on December 1st. That was 2 nights ago. The series opener against Brisbane. 2 innings of work. Gave up 1 hit, 1 run. It was unearned because the run that scored against him was one of the placed runners in extra innings. 2 strikeouts, 1 walk. He threw 37 pitches. Got yesterday off, back out there today, looking for his second save and as many chances. First pitch misses outside, 1-0. Campbell produced the only run of the game for Brisbane. A 2-out solo homer in the 6th. The Aces got a 2-run homer from Jake Skoll in the 1st. Robbie Glendinning an RBI single in the 6th. This one's blasted out to deep right center. Skoll gives chase. He stops at the track, leaps. That ball's off the wall. It does stay in the yard, however. But it's a leadoff double for Andrew Campbell, who's crushed the ball his last 2 times up. So the leadoff man reaches against Rutsky. That brings the tying run to the plate. Brisbane had the tying run at the plate in the 8th as well. Tyler Tolbert walked to lead off the inning, but Miura went ground out, strikeout, ground out to retire the next 3 he faced in that 8th. And now Rutsky will have to work around the leadoff base runner. Here's Dai Kang Yang, 0 for 3 with a couple strikeouts and a ground out. Rutsky has been the Aces' best reliever this season. He has not allowed an earned run in 7 innings of work over those 6 games. First pitch, breaking ball's over for a strike. Well, the Brisbane bench not happy with that call, and home plate umpire Neil Medlin is making sure they quiet down. Rutsky's got 5 pitches, 4-seam, 2-seam, curveball, splitter, change. A look out at second. The 0-1, foul back. 6 feet 5 inches tall, left-hander's 30 years old from Windsor, Ontario. He has 1 of 2 saves recorded by the Aces this season. Steve Kent has the other. Peter Moylan trusting the veteran southpaw in any late-game situation with the lead. It's been a stopper as well with the game tied or the Aces down. Count is 1-2 now on Yang. Brisbane's won 9 in a row. Melbourne's lost 6 in a row. Aces looking to snap both streaks with the win tonight. Rutsky still needs 3 outs here in the 9th. 1-2 pitch down in the dirt. Osborne keeps it in front. Four of Rutsky's 6 outings this season prior to tonight have been at home. Pitched once in round 1 against Geelong, twice in round 2 against Perth. 2 outings on the road against Adelaide in round 3, and now this is his 2nd outing of round 4. 2-2 pitch, breaking ball just missed off the plate. That one was pretty close to the pitch that was called for strike 1. The great crowd on hand has stuck it out for the duration of this one, hoping to see an Aces win. This will be the first Aces win since 2 Sundays ago against Perth. They won 2 games that day. Here's Rutsky's 3-2, ball 4, and the tying run's now on first. Well, the Bandits have gone double walk. And the go-ahead run is Donald Lutz at the plate, and he's got that home run pop. He homered in the 2nd game of this series last night, a 2-run shot. He didn't start game 1 of the series, came on as a pinch hitter. The Aces are 3-0 this season when leading after 8 innings. The goal is to make that 4-0. Ground ball to first. O'Neill stays down on it. Throws to second to get the middle runner. That's all the Aces will get. But that's a big play by O'Neill for a couple reasons. 1, they got an out. They needed at least 1 out there. And 2, it sets up the double play. So Yang's retired. That's a big-time play from Matt O'Neill. 1, to stay down on it, but 2, to have the confidence to throw to second there when he had the easy play at first. But that keeps the tying run at first instead of having the tying run in scoring position. So here's Logan Trowbridge pinch hitting for Will Riley. Trowbridge started each of the first 2 games of this series. He had 2 hits and also reached on a walk in game 1. He was hitless last night. He's the go-ahead run now with 1 down. Pitch from Rutsky. It's over for a strike, and Evan gets ahead. Double play ball would end it. Rutsky and the Aces would love that. Khalil and Glendinning pinching for 2 up the middle. Here's the 0-1. Deep drive out to left. Robson goes back. He's at the track, at the wall, and that one's gone. A go-ahead 3-run home run for Logan Trowbridge, pinch hitting here in the 9th. And the Aces go from up 2 to down 1 just like that. Oh, that is a really, really deflating feeling right there. The Aces 2 outs away from snapping their 6-game losing streak, but Trowbridge got a pitch he could handle up in the zone and crushed it out to left. Wind or not, that ball was leaving the yard. So a tough outing for Evan Rutsky as he blows his first save of the season. Double walk, fielder's choice, and now a 3-run homer. And the Aces leaving the bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th. Looks that much worse right now. This is a Brisbane team that continues to hit the ball out of the yard. As you take a look at this replay here on pitch from Rutsky. Well, the Bandits now have hit 24 home runs this season. And with the 3 doubles and 2 homers tonight, they have 50 extra base hits in 15 games. Aces left a couple on in the 6th. When they had their first 3 of the inning reach, they left all 3 in the 8th. Another tough night hitting with runners in scoring position for the Aces. Swing and a miss as Rutsky gets out number 2. Damage is already done. Right now, Rutsky looking to just limit it to the 1-run deficit now for the Aces. Back to the top of the order, here's Tyler Tolbert. Well, the Brisbane dugout was really animated after that home run. Looking to get out of it. First pitch strike to Tolbert. The Aces have 9-1-2 due up in the bottom of the 9th. Cruz, Dale, and Whitefield. The Aces just 2 for 11 with runners in scoring position tonight. They've left 8 on base. 0-1, that's down. Crushing blow for this Aces team that needed a win in the worst way, and they can still win this game. It's going to be a lot harder now to have to come from behind now that Brisbane has seized the momentum and that dugout's been fired up. It'll be interesting to see who comes out of the pen for the Bandits in the 9th. Jeremy Atkinson pitched the 7th and 8th. Did not allow a run. See if he comes back out. 2-1. Sprayed foul down the first base line. Rutsky comes set, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, no one on. Aces entered the inning up 2. They now trail by 1. That's strike 3, a late call from Neil Medlin, but it is the end of the inning. Rutsky punches out 2, but he allows 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors, no one left on. Rutsky blows the save, but the Aces can tie it or win it in the bottom of 9th. We'll go there after this break on Aces TV. Bottom of the 9th inning for Melbourne Ballpark. The Aces all of a sudden trail by 1. Well, the hope was that we wouldn't have to play this bottom of the 9th. The Aces took a 3-1 lead into the top of inning number 9, but pinch hit 3-run home run from Logan Trowbridge has turned this game around, and now the Bandits a chance to close out the Aces and take home a series win. The Bandits are looking for their 10th straight win, looking to hand the Aces their 7th straight loss. The Aces were well positioned to win this game. They led the entire way. Jake Skoll, a 2-run homer in the first. Up 2-1 in the late innings. Robbie Glendinning brought home an insurance run with an RBI single in the 6th. But Trowbridge, a pinch hit 3-run homer. Dave Nielsen flexing his bench, bringing some power off the bench, and Logan Trowbridge delivered in a big spot. 3-run homer off Evan Rutsky, who blew his first save of the season in his second save chance. And now we've got a punt 1-2-3 pitching change as left-hander Justin King comes on for the Bandits. Tim Atherton worked the first 6. He gave up 3 runs, worked around a lot of traffic on the bases to allow just the 3. Jeremy Atkinson, 2 innings scoreless in relief. He's in line for the win right now as King looks for the save. He's ahead of Jared Cruz, 0-2. Cruz 0-3 with 3 strikeouts. 0-2's down. Kings come out of the bullpen throwing really hard as the Bandits look to steal this one from the Aces. Aces just 2 for 11 with runners in scoring position tonight. They've left 8 on base. That is a key storyline in this one. Now that the Bandits have taken the lead. The Bandits, meanwhile, just 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. They've left 6. It doesn't tell the whole story, but for the Aces, who've had runners on all night, it does tell most of their story. I almost got Cruz as he's worked it from 0-2 to 3-2. The Aces are a resilient team. A couple come from behind wins against Geelong, Korea in round 1. Same could be said for against Perth in round 2. 3-2 to Cruz. He stays alive, and this is what Jared Cruz will do. He will wear down an opposing pitcher. If Cruz can find a way on base, that would really set up the Aces well with the top of the order coming up. Here's King's 3-2 pitch. Ball 4, so Cruz does find a way on. The Aces have the leadoff man on. Tying run at first. Winning run at the plate. The Aces have 1 walk-off win this season. It was their second game of the season. Matt O'Neill hit a walk-off grand slam in the bottom of the 13th inning, and the Aces took home an 8-5 win against Geelong, Korea. Pinch runner at first base. Aces get some more speed out there. Aiden Willis enters for Jared Cruz. Cruz was 0-3 with 3 strikeouts, and he worked a really, really solid walk right there, especially down 0-2. Impressive work from Cruz leading off the 9th. See if Willis tries to steal second. He has not stolen a base yet this season. He hasn't even attempted one. Willis, a weapon off the bench. 1-0 to Dale's over for a strike. So Willis, if this game continues, will stay in as the designated hitter in Cruz's spot. But right now, all that matters is what the Aces do in the bottom of the 9th. Down a run. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Dale's on it. He fouls it back. Aaron Whitefield's on deck. He's 1 for 4 with a double. Robbie Glendinning after him. He's 2 for 4, 2 singles and a ribby. And then Jake Skoll in the cleanup spot. He's reached safely all 4 times. Homer walk, single double. Aces looking to get those guys up. Dale fights one off. Now, unless there's a double play, the Aces will at least get to Robbie Glendinning in the 3-hole here in the 9th. If anyone else reaches and the game is still going, Skoll will hit. The Aces would love that. Short lead for Willis, staying close. 1-2. Dale taps one to the right side. I mentioned that the Aces were 3-0 and leading after 8. They now trail in the 9th after leading after 8. One-two pitch to Jared Dale in the dirt, and it skips away from the catcher, Miller, and he can't find it. It skips high off the netting, so just one base for Aiden Willis. And that ball considered out of play there because it hung up there on the netting. So a wild pitch puts the tying run in scoring position. Big pitch coming here from King. Here's the 2-2 to Dale. Tried to check his swing, the appeal. They'll appeal, no swing, and that's the right call there. Tom West says no swing. He definitely did check. King does not want to walk 2 in a row. Here's the payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Good breaking ball there. Dale had to swing, it was a strike. And he's down for out number 1 in the 9th. Here's Aaron Whitefield.
Next back for the Melbourne Aces, centre fielder Aaron Whitefield.
Whitefield, a Brisbane native, has a chance to walk it off against his former team. Guy who's played in the big leagues with both the Minnesota Twins and the LA Angels. Up in a big spot here is the winning run. King's ready. Looks like Whitefield's on it as he fouls one right straight back to the netting. Whitefield hit .262 with 9 homers, 18 doubles, 3 triples, and 29 stolen bases for AA Rocket City in the Angels organization this year. He also played a handful of games up with the big club in Los Angeles. A 1 inside, nice stop by Miller, the catcher, to keep Willis at second. Last time Whitefield played for Brisbane was during the 2017-2018 season. He hit .293 that year. Swings and fouls one off. His first season in the ABL, 2015-2016, when Whitefield was 18 years old, he hit .314 in 25 games for Brisbane. In 2016-17, .338, 16 extra base hits, stole 20 bags in 39 games. Then 17, 18, and 30 games. Averaged just over .290, 10 extra base hits, and this is a guy who just continues to tear up the ABL. Everybody in the ballpark still here. Willis dances off second. Here's King's 1-2. Almost clipped the arm of Whitefield. He got out of the way. It's 2-2. Reminder to everybody listening at home, if you want to come out to the game tomorrow, Sunday series finale at 1 p.m. First, we got to get through this one. 2-2, Whitefield spoils it foul. The Aces do not want to lose a 7th straight. They don't want to go into tomorrow with the chance to get swept again. Drama and tension building here in the bottom of the 9th at Melbourne Ballpark. This would be a big spot for Whitefield's 2nd homer of the year. Time is called. Whitefield wanted it. Making King work. And this is where the mental side of baseball really comes in. 1-run game in the 9th. Tying run on. Go ahead run at the plate. It's really a mental game as much as it is physical. Now King steps off. He wants to regroup. Mind games out there. Whitefield, 12 career at-bats in the major leagues. He brings a strong baseball pedigree to Melbourne. 2-2, fought off. Whitefield in year 1 of a 3-year deal with Melbourne. You don't see a lot of guys move around the ABL as much as Whitefield has, especially for the Australian native players. Most guys, they stick with their hometown team, and you know, they may move around one time, but Whitefield already on his 3rd team, and he's only 26. 2-2 pitch. Whitefield sends one into left center field. Here comes Willis. Whitefield digging for second. Throw goes into second. We've got a tie game. Aaron Whitefield with an RBI single. And we're knotted at 4 in the bottom of the 9th. Big knock for Whitefield. And the Aces aren't done just yet. Well, Willis had to hold up to see if that line drive would be caught. Once he read that it was getting down, he was going to score easily, and he did. Aaron Whitefield wearing down Justin King, doing a job. And that brings up Robbie Glendinning. 1 out in the 9th. Whitefield's the go-ahead run he's the winning run at first. He's 6 for 6 in stolen base attempts this season. If he could swipe his 7th, that would be huge. Whitefield now with 6 runs batted in on the year. Doing damage against the team he knows well. Short lead for him. Glendinning takes low and away. Well, this is the part of the order that the Aces expect to do damage. Whitefield, Glendinning, Skull, 2, 3, 4. A quick chat on the mound on the Brisbane side. This game more than 3 hours old at this point. Ace is hoping that we don't go into extras because they'd love to win it here in the bottom of the 9th. 10 hits now in the game for the Aces. Glendinning a chance to play the hero tonight. Whitefield inching closer to second with his lead off first. 1-0. Glendinning chases a pitch out of the zone. Robbie brought home a run in the 6th, and the runner he brought home was Whitefield. King really taking his time. Whitefield goes. Here's the throw down to second. It's a good one. And Whitefield's safe. Got his foot in there. And he's now 7 for 7 in stolen base attempts. Well, that's huge. Gutsy decision to run right there because if he gets thrown out, It's bases empty, 2 outs. But now man on second, 1 out. The winning run is in scoring position. Pick your poison right now for the Bandits. Glendinning at the dish. Jake Skoll on deck. 2-1. Whitefield takes off for third now, and no throw. Aaron Whitefield's 90 feet away from scoring the winning run. He steals bases on back-to-back pitches. He's now 8 for 8 this season, and he was fired up as he slid into third. Oh, and now Robbie Glendinning chirping at the Brisbane dugout. The players in the Brisbane dugout have been very vocal tonight. Robbie was upset with whatever was said. Peter Moylan out of the dugout to try to calm things down. The Bandits have to bring the infield in with the winning run on third and just 1 down. They could walk Glendinning and set up a double play, but then you've got to face Skoll, who they haven't been able to get out tonight. Here's the 3-1 to Glendinning. Fly ball deep right center field, and the Aces are going to win the game. It's down on the warning track. Whitefield jogs home, throws the helmet off, and the Aces are out on the infield to mob Robbie Glendinning. A 5-4 win for the Aces, and they snap their 7-game losing streak. Fire me up. That's how you end a losing skid. That's how you come back. And that's how you show some resilience. What a win for the Aces. 5-4. They defend home turf. They end Brisbane's 9-game winning streak. And the Aces have a series split to play for tomorrow afternoon. Robbie Glendinning with his 3rd hit of the night. RBI single in the 6th, a single in the 8th, and a walk-off RBI single in the bottom of the 9th. A 3-1 pitch over the middle of the plate, and he did not miss it. What a win for the Melbourne Aces. And we've got our own Josh Sperber, who's headed down to the field for, at some point, a post-game interview with the walk-off hero Glendinning. So we will stay live on the air until we throw it down to Josh. We are getting set up for that post-game interview. What a win for the Aces, their 2nd walk-off win of the season, and boy did they need that one. We've said it all night long. The Aces have struggled recently hitting with runners in scoring position. They've struggled bringing home the men they get on base. But that didn't happen tonight in the bottom of the 9th. Brisbane got 3 in the top of the 9th, but the Aces responded down 1, knowing what was at stake. They did not want to lose a 7th straight. And that's not happening tonight. They get the win, and with that win, the Aces move to 6-8 on the season. Brisbane falls to 12-3. Evan Rutsky, who blew the save in the top of the 9th, ends up with the win. It's got to feel good for Evan as he's able to come away with the win. And now we are good to send it down to our own Josh Sperber down in the field with the walk-off hero, Robbie Glendinning. Josh, take it away.
Welcome into the post-game show. Josh Sperber here with the walk-off hero, Robbie Glendinning. And Robbie, just take me through that 9th inning for starters.
Yeah, it was a crazy inning. They came back. They did a good job coming back. And then Cruzy was able to get a good walk. And then Whitey had a great at-bat, stole second, stole third, so that made my job kind of easy.
I mean, he could have been on first base. He would have scored on that hit. That was just an absolute blast. I mean, going into that at-bat, what were you thinking?
I was really just trying to get a fastball, see it up, and put a good swing on. Obviously, my approach was maybe a little different with the runner on first, so Whitey getting a third really helped.
Yeah, it certainly did, and able to score easily on that, and that's got to feel extra good after these last couple of games, getting the first win against Brisbane.
Yeah, we've had a rough go at it. You know, we've been really close, and we just haven't been able to get over the line, so to finally win one feels good, and hopefully we can go from here.
Yeah, a lot more room to improve. Last night of the series is tomorrow. Got a day game ready to go. How are you guys going to approach that game to build off this one?
Yeah, we got to come out all guns blazing, and we really got to split the series. It'll be big moving forward.
Well, the Aces getting their first win in 6 games in walk-off fashion. A big thanks to Robbie Glendinning for helping to get that done. Back to you up in the booth, Mike.
All right, thanks, Josh, and thanks, Robbie, for taking the time for that post-game interview. Robbie Glendinning, a walk-off single. Had it not been a walk-off situation, that's either a double or a triple to the gap. He crushed that ball. But a walk-off single, the final of 3 hits on the night for Glendinning. They started it up. Jared Cruz worked a walk. He was down in the count 0-2, worked a walk leading off the 9th. Aiden Willis came in as a pinch runner. Jared Dale struck out swinging, but then Aaron Whitefield singled home Willis, who got to second on a pass ball. Whitefield stole second. On the next pitch, he stole third. And Robbie Glendinning on a 3-1 pitch from Justin King sent it into the right center field gap, and the Aces took home the win. They needed it in the worst way. They snapped a 6-game losing streak. They ended Brisbane's 9-game winning streak, and the Aces go home winners for the first time in almost 2 weeks. A 5-4 win for the Aces. Back at it tomorrow as the Aces will play for a series split. First pitch at 1 p.m. local time here in Melbourne. If you want to come out to the ballpark, you can head over to melbourneaces.com.au to purchase tickets, or you can head to our box office as well. Appreciate anyone who tuned in to the ball game tonight. Final totals in this one: 5 runs on 11 hits, no errors for the Aces. 4 runs on 6 hits, 1 error for the Bandits. The Aces move to 6-8. The Bandits fall to 12-3. Evan Rutsky gets the win. He's 1-0. Justin King, the loss. He is 0-1. The game was played in 3 hours and 15 minutes in front of 1,206 fans here at Melbourne Ballpark. For our outstanding crew here at Sportscast Australia and my broadcast partner Josh Sperber, I'm Michael Marcantonini. Well, you guys better know me better as Aussie Mike, saying have a great night. We'll talk to you tomorrow. First pitch at 1 p.m. Keep it locked right here on Aces TV. Coming back, so why do I say things like that? And my point being was that as Campbell hits the solo shot to bring Brisbane within 1, the point was that the wind's not blowing. Guys on the other side, chilling, having fun with his own teammates. Glendinning sprays one to the right side into right field. Here comes Whitefield. Glendinning stops at first.
Haye with Fort Wayne. Cracked out into left center field, and that's going to fall into the gap for extra bases. 2 hops and it hits the wall. Jared Dale sprinting towards second base, where he'll pull up with a 2-out double. Back-to-back games with 2 knocks for Jared. 1-2. Hammered down the right field line. That's in there for extra bases. Glendinning goes to third as Jacob Scholl's going to run towards second. The runners both move into Scholl.
Pinching for 2 up the middle. Here's the 0-1. Deep drive out to left. Robson goes back. He's at the track, at the wall, and that one's gone. A really deflating feeling right there. The Aces' third team, and he's only 26. 2-2 pitch. Whitefield sends one into left center field. Here comes Willis. Whitefield digging for second. Throw goes into second. We've got a tie game. Oh, and now Robbie Glendinning chirping at the Brisbane dugout. Players in the Brisbane dugout have been very vocal tonight. Robbie was upset with whatever was said. Peter Moylan out of the dugout. Try to calm things down. Here's the 3-1 to Glendinning. Fly ball deep right center field, and the Aces are going to win the game. It's down on the warning track. Whitefield jogs home, throws the helmet off, and the Aces are out on the infield to mob Robbie Glendinning. A 5-4 win for the Aces, and they snap their 7-game losing streak. Fire me up. That's how you end a losing skid. That's how you come back. And that's how you show some resilience. What a win for the Aces. 5-4. They defend home turf. They end Brisbane's 9-game winning streak.